that.
Okay, 4 creams. We have 4 creams.
Yeah.
So 1 cream, 1 a day.
I tried to. What's that?
What are you guys doing?
They will hold for that.
Yes.
What are you guys doing it? What are
Especially
you-
once we get ready.
Or actually.
Your guy's mic is live, just FYI. You could talk fine. I'm just saying in case you're like,
I'm glad you said that.
yeah.
I was gonna give him a secret, so.
It's a trademark.
I'm really still like working on my packaging and stuff, and I have on my phone before. And I have looked at wine glasses and doing it now, just finalizing my packaging.
No, I've never been meeting for 2 months.
Yeah, I've seen you before. What do you want your law?
Yeah, I don't know what, how to start with, but I don't know. Connection with people, you know, manufacturing stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but have you felt like that over the last some product research? Do you have Helium on the computer?
No.
I can't do anything about that. I need that. Helium.
You know.
It connected to your Amazon, it gives you the analytics of what something sells, you know, that is stuff you really want. So,
Helium?
listen, Helium 10, and when you pay for it, Helium 10 has its own free stuff on the site. I would equivalent more than what you
You said elder abuse category?
Yes.
That's a new one to me.
Well, no, it's a joke.
Oh, okay.
What it means is Amazon, if you don't pay them off with advertising, they'll take a great selling product that's more than a year or 2 old and just give it no love
So,
and
when you
dies.
download Helium,
That's
so-
what I
and
call it.
ask Carlos, hold on, Carlos, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Carlos, do you have a promo?
Yeah.
For helium, yeah.
Yeah, you do, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Do you remember?
Let me,
Cause I'd actually wanna get rid of it and then re-download it, and I'm giving it to him, he doesn't have Helium.
yeah,
So my point is rare feedback.
let me pull that up for you right now.
Thanks. So you're gonna
También
download it,
eres,
you're gonna put in this
latinoamericano.
discount code.
Colombia.
¿De Colombia? Sí, te escuché el acento.
That's stuff
¿De qué
that
parte?
when you have a program,
¿Bogotá?
you're gonna go to.
Oye, ¿qué tal están los carros allá en Texas? ¿Caros o
Fernando.
poquito más.
son más caros?
Yeah.
¿Caros allá? Sí, ¿no?
Okay.
Sí, pero el procesar los títulos no vale tanto. Cuesta como 450.
¿Qué cosa?
Título.
That is literally.
300.
300.
If you know nothing and you go.
Ah, bueno, ahí está 200.
Y yo digo, es la...
Nice to meet you.
Maybe it's
how do
easier,
I-
like, for me to follow along, cause I did this already. So this is
Ah,
kind of like.
entonces hace cuánto ya te metiste en el mundo de...
Trying to move fast,
No, yo
guys.
vamos a completar ese cuando.
So you wanna, and also.
Ah, iba a decir,
you wanna do
Pero-
research and see
En serio, yo
what's
dos
there
tres.
that you can make better and different and it's not.
Candace, I'm gonna send it to you on WhatsApp.
Okay, great, thanks.
It's a link, actually.
El último año
Okay,
se va-
and
el
also,
proyecto
can
me
you
cargó,
send it to him as well?
pues por eso.
Oh,
Yes.
I'll do it, I just got it,
Hoy
thank
en día
you.
viene un nicho de
Let me,
Yuri.
let me send
Yuri.
this to you.
Yes,
Through WhatsApp.
yo también me metí.
Later.
Entonces,
Let me,
ya no quiero meter más ahí, entonces me metí
Thanks,
ahorita
Carlos.
con un nicho
Of
que
course,
es
thank you.
What is your,
Fruta.
what's your name again?
Y, sí, y entonces ya lo estoy haciendo, pero ya estoy con mentoría. Quiero crecer.
Almost there.
Claro, ¿ese es tu part-time o es
There we go.
full-time? Lo haces
No, es
All right, you guys ready?
part-time,
part-time.
pero lo quiero hacer full-time. O sea, tan pronto ya esté la lista de productos esté lista, la quiero
No,
dedicar.
I don't have his number.
Uno viejo hermano, ya no le toca empezar algo más
There
suave.
we go.
Usted está para terreno todavía.
Sí, sí, ¿no?
Why do I
Ah, bueno, el éxito no tiene edad.
You didn't give me the number yet.
Yo he conocido a gente
No.
que
I mean,
por poco tiempo,
because I do have it here.
a veces es en base de conseguir un buen producto y
Un
escalar.
buen producto y sobre todo saberlo hacer, porque yo he tenido como 5 o 6 productos. Por ahí vienen unos, más los otros,
pasos.
Pues
es que Amazon es no tan cambiante.
All right,
Todos los días es una cosa diferente.
let's do it. Oh, wow, I forgot why, oh, if I stand back, this thing just nails me.
Oh, my work, Philip.
Okay.
Common name, it's like, yeah.
Well, it's not as common as jeans.
All right, forgive me in advance for a cough. I have a dry cough that's back, so I'm gonna be coughing throughout. I'm not contagious, I'm not sick, anything like that. I'm also gonna be smacking away at gum, thanks to Bruce.
98575.
Some noticeable mentions in the back, some old school wizards in the back.
Just old.
Old and old school. All right, we're gonna go today for our topic of the week. Some new people, so I'll cover some of the, so you have an idea of what's going on. So housekeeping, bathrooms are right there. Snacks are $1 a croqueta. Snacks and everything are courtesy of our sponsors. You're gonna see some of them coming up here. I'll mention some throughout, some are on banners. Bathrooms are there. Feel free to get up and cross. If you have to leave early, you have to leave early, that's fine. Try to stay. First hour is gonna be a beginner hour. Then at 2 p.m., we're gonna get it from 2 to 3:30, we're gonna do our topic of the week. Grab snacks throughout, like just make yourself at home.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Some of you asking, the class we have in the front is a new thing. It was one of the motivations in moving from our other place, which we had been at forever, to here, is the ability to have run multiple events at the same time. So we really do like focusing on Shopify and unfortunately now TikTok and a lot of other things, so we can do that at the same time. Also, this group's 100% free, has been forever. It's got witnesses. And one of the things though is some people want a lot more hand-holding, so we started running paid ads for the first time in 10 years. So you'll see some of those classes that are in the front that are paid classes, affordable paid classes, but no obligation to do any of those. One announcement that I want to make, because I'm going to forget, next week's meetup. We meet every Saturday, by the way, unless it's like Christmas. I think that's it. But next Saturday, our meetup is at the Tank. So it's a networking event. We hadn't done it for like a year and a half. And we did it again when we were moving from the other spot to here. And some of the old timers were like, man, we got to start doing this again. It's been a while and it's fun sometimes to just network.
So is the tank daytime or nighttime? 'Cause it used to be
Daytime.
nighttime.
Yeah, it used to be nighttime. It's a daytime one. So same time the event would happen. It's already announced on Meetup, so you can see that, but it's same
They
time.
still have a food truck?
They have the food truck, the drinks, it looks the same, it's great, you're gonna be able to network. Like today, you might hear Fernando talk about something in the meetup, and you're like, man, I wish I could just sit down for, not that I'm boring, but you might wanna just sit down, 45 minutes with Fernando or Candice, and at the Tank you can't. So, it's a cool opportunity, and it's really chill, and you get to just like learn about other people, sometimes a little beyond work. This is a community at the end of the day, not just some dictatorship where I'm up here telling you that you should go all in on private label, which most of you shouldn't. But we will be at the Tank. So just remember, if you autopilot, show up here, the doors are closed, we do have a meetup. Fortunately for you, if you do come here, the Tank's really close. I mean, it's less than 10 minutes. In the beginner hour, I like to open it up for questions. I am trying to get back into that rhythm that we did at the end of the year, where I have a few products that I recommend people get into. Planning for that takes a little more work, or I need to just accidentally come across some products to do it. Today though, I'm gonna open the computer and do something similar and see what you guys think. But one of the call outs I wanted to do today in the beginner hour is, I almost avoid conversations that have AI in it, because I'm kind of numb to all this, like everything getting AI inserted into it. McDonald's is using AI in the drive-through and everything. I'm just kind of numb to it. I feel like
And it's changing so fast.
it is. It really is changing so fast. About a month and a half ago, I decided, okay, I'm just gonna pick one of these things, and I'm just gonna start working it into my flows and like things that I do. And when something else pops out claiming to be better than that thing, I'm just gonna ignore it. Like, sometimes being successful as a business owner means you're just really good at ignoring the noise. So, could be better than what I'm doing. So the thing I'm gonna share today, maybe you know something better. But this is working really good for me. The two big areas that I'm looking at, that I'm messing with AI. One of them just because we we, meaning my company and I, business partners and I, we're all in on Google products. So we're like Google Suite, Google Business Suite, Enterprise. So we're using Gemini a lot for everything, and I'm loving it. We're using Notebook LM. I'm really loving that. I am a total novice when it comes to that, but I am surprised at how quickly I am able to work this into my workflows. I am surprised how easy it is to collaborate with my team members, my VAs, my business partners, myself with it. So today, though, that's not the one I'm going to talk too much about. The one I'm going to talk to you about is something called Operator. And it's by OpenAI. It's on their Pro plan, which is $200 a month. And so I like people to stay away from recurring monthlies in the beginning. So you don't have this bloated software cost. It doesn't give you any chance to actually make some money. I think Operator might be an exception. So my description of Operator, I'm gonna describe it by kind of contrasting it against ChatGPT, which I think everyone's kind of familiar with. And ChatGPT is kind of like, I want to know the answer to something, or I want you to write something for me this way, or maybe I want you to research something for me. And we have this back and forth dialogue. It's amazing. Operator's major difference is it can do all that, but then it can actually go do the work. I accidentally discovered it could do this by saying, so one of the, we're pushing 1,550 meetup groups, events that we've done. And AI for me has helped a lot on the research side of it. So I'll have a topic and I'm like, refunds, reimbursements, and reconciliation. I'm like, super important. What an unsexy topic to have on a Saturday afternoon for a meetup, right? I cannot think of anything more yawn-inducing, right? So I feel like I know everything there is to know about it, but I would use ChatGPT for something like, hey, what would be a bunch of real life scenarios with some brands that could help me trigger some real stories to like make this funner? And it will tell me, and then I'll click. I'm not just gonna read it word for word and claim like it's my own story, but it'll allow me to quickly think of some real stories and improve the quality of our meetup events. I had it going there helping me jazz up a title for one of our meetup events. And I said, hey, instead of saying, I want to create or help me create, I said create. And I wasn't in ChatGPT, I was in Operator. And I said that I wanted it to create a meetup event for me on this topic. And it started. And it created a cool meetup event title. And I was looking at it and I was like, wow, that's really cool. Oh, and I love how it like opens the screen now and shows you like what it's doing. And then it went into my meetup account, logged in, and created a meetup event. Announced it, scheduled it. Then opened up YouTube, because ours has this camera here is streaming for other people that couldn't attend. It opened up my YouTube, which I didn't even think of that. Went into my YouTube, got the event, looked at my past events, and broke it down and scheduled it the same way. Connected it to Ecom, went back to Meetup, added the YouTube link so people can see, and then let me know it was done. And it was done in under 5 minutes. Now, it freaked me out, to be honest, and made me think, wait a minute, like this could have went bad. Like, this could have went really bad. But it made me realize, wow, if it can do that, what else can it do? So I started messing around with, like most of you are not creating meetup events, so that might sound like the most useless thing in the world. So then I was like, okay, let's grab some PPC reports. Let's grab some. How are you? Yeah, let's grab some advertising reports for ad campaigns. If you're going to get into private label, at some point you're going to be running paid ads. And staying on top of those ads and what's working and what's not working is pretty tedious. So I just got those reports and I put it in. I had already evaluated these reports, so I felt like I knew what was what, but it was spot on, and it went in greater depth in different areas that I hadn't gone into. And then I was just like, I'm the type of person that I only log into my Amazon seller account under my Wi-Fi and my modem, or I'm tethering from my device. I don't do it anywhere. Seems like that's less of a risk nowadays, but for me, it used to be a very real risk that would cost you everything, because they'd link you to somebody else's account and shut it down. But I was just curious. And I said, can you, I forget what time it was like 10:30. And I said, at 11:30, can you go pull my Amazon PPC report between this date range and let me know X, Y, and Z? And it said, yes. I forgot about it. It did it. So I've been playing with it a lot. Another one. There's some products that I like I like food products as a private label seller. Cool. I'm blocking it. Oh. I like food products as a private label seller. I like the replenishable aspect of it. A subscribe and save model, if you will. Some of these food products we can't find in the PLMA catalog that we talk about all the time. And it's just very time consuming to try to find the supplier. Or sometimes I just get stuck and I'm like, man, I can't find it, and I have to move on to the other task, and hopefully I get back around to it. I go into Operator now, it's batting 1,000. It's never not found a supplier. I went back to some stubborn things I couldn't find in the past. It has found them. Multiple suppliers. And then I just continue to try to get tougher and tougher with the criteria just to like stump it. I was like, I want it to come back and not be able to find something. And it's just not getting stumped. The quality of what it's finding is really good. If you're looking for a part-time sourcing agent to just discover a product, I would encourage you to check out Operator. If you're gonna use it once and that's it, don't leave the subscription running every single month for $200 a month. Set a reminder on your calendar to cancel it. But I cannot think of a scenario, unless you're bootstrapping the heck out of your business, that it doesn't make sense to have the Operator Pro plan in your Amazon business right now.
That's interesting, because I do a lot of research on Thomas Register.
Yeah.
And anybody who's done research there, they know that you have to go in, look at the company's website, see if they have the product you even want. Some of them don't have the website, so it's a lot of work to use Thomas Register as a sourcing tool. So if you can get Operator to go in and do all the work, that'd be a huge time saver.
It is. It does great. I use it a lot as well, and it's. I haven't had anything that it took longer than 5 minutes, and these are things that have taken me days, hours. I had to stop on the project, and I feel like I know what I'm looking for, and couldn't do it. It's finding it in under 5 minutes.
If you tell it, because I think, because when you said it, just went in and did it, and you were like, what's going on? I wonder if you say to it, hey, can you do X, Y, and Z? Please confirm with me before you do it.
Yes, it will.
Oh, you tried that?
Yeah, I've tried that. The other thing is I asked it to pull the Amazon report again.
Yeah.
And this time I logged out of my Amazon. Like I went in.
Oh, so then it couldn't get in.
It asked me, he says, hey, can you open it up? Like it needed me, it needed me to be logged in. Let me see if I'm saying this right. I didn't have to be logged in, but I had to have my, at least on a Mac, I'm not familiar with PCs, like you can set it to kind of remember, to where when you open the computer, it's like you want to use the password, you know, it'll click in, it'll populate the emails, it knows what email you use for that, and then if it pre-populates your password, it can just go in.
And you said with the regular version of ChatGPT, you haven't tried that.
You can't get access to Operator and Sora. So the only reason I got access to it is Sora came out, the video version of it. I wanted to get it, and it was on the Pro plan. So I got the Pro plan for Sora. I was kind of on the fence on whether I keep it or not. And then I'll say one more thing about AI, and we'll move into some other stuff that I have. But I was on the fence about keeping it because personally, I could be dead wrong. But personally, I'm beginning to feel with all this AI stuff, talking to a lot of people, I'm seeing that it's like, it's like it's like the worst version of shiny object syndrome that I've ever seen. And I'm seeing it's even beating, like we usually joke and say, man, you wanna grow in your business, just take social media off your phone. Look how 3 hours. I'm seeing people blow a lot more than 3 hours jumping around in AI and not doing anything, right? Or scratching the same itch as you would video games.
Right.
Right? And I track everything that I do and frequently take inventory of it. I have team members that look at it, constantly looking at ways to optimize. And when something started rivaling social media, I was like, this is a big problem. And my 2 cents now is, I think, and I don't want to offend anyone, so like, I think if you were a videographer before this AI stuff came out, and Sora and some of these other AI video tools came out, you are massively better than what you were before, and your output is significantly more. You can get a Sora and create something that I would call like avatar-like, you know? But if you were not, you're gonna spend more time than is necessary to still create blah. Like, it's impressive to you and it's impressive to your significant other, but it's you know, it's nothing in the hands of someone that can do it. Writers. I see this a lot. Google's exploded with like crap content, crap blogs nowadays because someone's decided they can just go in there and say, I want to write an article on this, do it in the voice of, you know, they put insert your favorite direct response copywriter, and then it spits something out. And there's so much more to it than that. So if you're mediocre, it creates a lot of mediocrity. And I feel like for every type of thing within AI, it does that. So my thing is, I don't think the CEO of the business should be the one running the video AI, this AI, this AI. It's like, just hire your video person and arm them with that. You know, hire your writer or have your cohort of freelance writers you work with and arm them with this or with these prompts. Instead of saying, I want to pay you half because I think you're using AI. So I'm now getting these AIs and just arming my team members with them. Operator falls into a weird area for me right now. And that is, I don't want to be using Operator to pull PPC reports and look at it. That was more just to be able to come here and let you guys know. But research and kind of like trying to stay ahead of the curve on something is, you know, squarely in my domain. Operator would help me a great deal with that, but Operator, if you have an assistant, Operator might make her output twice as much. You know, so I that's where I'm at right now.
You would say that more often than not, you don't get the desired results that from using AI.
I can write. I like writing. I'm the best writer in the world, but I can throw down when it comes to writing. AI amplifies that. I can do a lot more. Because I'm a writer, because I like story, I have a bank of stories. Like used to be a Trello, now it's a Notion of nothing but a story bank of things that I know that can do stuff. So me with that, armed with AI to write, I'm gonna crush somebody who's not a writer, doesn't have a story bank, and just gets AI. So there's certain areas that I am really good at, but is writing blogs specifically the best use of my time in my business right now? I could easily find somebody else and arm them with AI. What I would struggle with is finding someone with my success rate at product selection. So like, let me get into the product selection side of things. It's doing what? I'll swap it out for another. But it's more like finding what you're best at and doing that. Ramon, while I'm switching this out, you've been messing with Operator? Any additional?
Well, I mean,
again, once you get it, you don't really know what you're gonna use it for. Like it's not very apparent. I thought, first thing I thought is that it was going to be able to connect all the knowledge that I had from my ChatGPT memory to Operator, and it's not. It's like two different softwares. That kind of sucks in a way. I'm sure they'll fix that. I'm sure it'll incorporate with ChatGPT. In the meantime, it's separated. So I kind of had to train it to understand what it is that I want. But you can do fantastic things. Like, for example, I was creating a retailer intake form to have retailers sign up on my website. Well, you go to ChatGPT, you tell it, okay, what does the intake form need to have? All these fields. And then you go to Operator, you go like, create this intake form for me. Boom, it does it. So you jump back and forth between the two, and you're gonna be able to create a lot of really great things really fast, that if you were trying to do it yourself, you're gonna be like, okay, this is going to take me half a day, right? And with Operator, it just knows how to do it, so you do it within 5 minutes. So I found that interesting. Same thing with hiring. Go get me the best, the medium rates of a VA in onlinejobs.ph. What, normally for this position, what do people normally ask for? Okay, so they're asking for this rate. Okay, now you jump back to ChatGPT and you go like, help me create a form. Help me create a job post to add to onlinejobs.ph. You go back and forth with ChatGPT. They understand your business. They understand what you're asking for, what you want. A whole bunch of back and forth, boom, you get the write-up created. You can post it yourself, you can have Operator do it, but then after that, you can have Operator answer to the people that are responding to your job post and go like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And an Operator will just answer a whole bunch of people and disregard a whole bunch of people that do not qualify for you without you having to do that. I mean, that's fantastic to me. One part I don't like is hiring. It takes a long time to go through 100 different applications. Let Operator do that. Those are two examples that I feel that work really well.
Yeah, the other one was freelancers. Like, hopefully everybody here, even if you're starting, there's some random things, and you're of the understanding that you can find somebody for a couple bucks on Fiverr to do it, and you shouldn't spend 6 hours of your day doing it. Like, you're not bettering yourself for doing that. But going on Fiverr, even though that's a big brain move, like going on Fiverr and looking for that freelancer, that could be the first time at least. That could be an hour or two. You know what I mean? I just send Operator now with some criteria that I'm looking for, and I ask it to go out there, find people that meet this criteria, up to 10, and send a custom offer, and request a custom offer. Somebody asked me yesterday when I was bringing this up, like, why do you ask for a custom offer? Normally what happens when you go to Fiverr, you spend a bunch of time waiting, between a bunch of people, and when someone finally responds to you, you're just on it. You're like, thank God, I'm working with this person, And you don't think that you can ask for a discount. Like, it shocks me, like, how many people, me being a freelancer on the platform as well, I get asked, people ask me for discounts all the time, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I not asking? And I grant almost all of them. Why am I not asking for discounts? So I started asking for discounts. Everyone says yes. So it's a little more time consuming, but why not see who gets the best discount? So Operator will go in, find you your 10 people, reach out to them, ask for a discount of X%, explain the project if you gave it to them, and get a custom offer for that. That's saving you a lot of time. And you're working on something else, or you went to go pick up your kids, or whatever the case may be. You don't even have to be there. And you can have several of them firing off at the same time. It's basically having an assistant. It also could be a really cool segue into, like, if you feel like you're not ready for, like, hiring a real person yet, even part-time, Operator might be a cool, like, segue to that, like, to get you in the habit of, like, delegating stuff and sending it off to do something. It's highly intelligent, can work 24/7, and it's $200 a month. So, like, I'm finding very few arguments for Amazon sellers to not have Operator nowadays. But I'm gonna keep on it, and I'm gonna keep sharing things as I know and little uses as I discover them. This isn't gonna turn into an AI class, but I recommend you do it. And if you do, reach out to me and say, hey, what are, like, 1 or 2 use cases that I could use? Because, like Ramon said, it's true. Like, when I first got it, I was just like, because it greets you on the screen and it shows you like it tries to like get you to think of some ideas, and it shows you Instacart and like Expedia and like kayak.com, and you're like, what? Yeah, it's like, I never felt that inconvenienced by that. So even though I have used it for Instacart, and it's very, very aggravating trying to build an Instacart with my kids crawling on me. And now I can just send this thing to go do the Instacart. So it's more quality time that I can spend with my kids and my wife. The happier I'm gonna be, the better mental state I'm gonna be when I go into my business. It all goes together. So like, I recommend doing it. That's it. I'm off my stump there. I got some what I think are some pretty cool things to bring up, but I want to see who has any questions. It is the beginner hour. I can pick on some people. Yeah. You're not a beginner, but I get to pick on you because you're a regular. How are things? What's your biggest struggle right now? Biggest win in the last week or two? And you're blushing. I like that.
Yeah. Struggle is inventory, because
right.
mine cosmetics, so.
You got to sit next to Carmen then.
Yeah, because everything's through FDA now, so I'm just, inventory is my biggest problem. That's it.
What's the issue? You started going to AWD and you got caught in that, or?
It's a new law that passed called MOCRA, and so all cosmetics has to be registered, the label has to be perfect. Now it has to go through FDA. It's all different. It used to be a Wild Wild West, and now everything has to be.
How are you dealing with it?
I had to pay like 15 grand for a company that deals with that, and they have to deal with the factory and go back and forth with their formula and then submit that to the FDA.
Wow, so this is for all beauty?
All beauty, all cosmetics, tattoo, or anything.
Man, that is amazing news if you want to get into beauty right now, because you know how many people are like not going to be able to put in the 15 grand to just get the certification, and like significantly
I
less
did it for 30
competition.
products, that's why it's so much. But
Oh, you have 30, how much is
yeah.
it at an ASIN level?
Probably $1,000. I mean, not
okay.
even $500 something.
Well, that might break some people, like
Yeah.
if they're not making much, but
Yeah.
let me okay, that's good. Let me pick on somebody else. You ready for the hot seat today? First one? Tell me about you. You started selling? You have an account?
Well, I have an
You're
account
next.
on Amazon. I haven't actually started selling. So I started, but I'm selling on Walmart and on eBay.
What kind of selling model are you doing? Congrats, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I'm selling shower heads and shower filters right now. And I think one of my
Private
biggest,
label, or are you like niche down with arbitrage?
No, I'm doing suppliers. I'm working with some suppliers.
Wholesale?
Yeah.
Okay.
The thing is, I haven't found the best kind of suppliers, and
What is the best kind of supplier?
The best kind of supplier is someone that fulfills. So
For you?
Yes.
Oh, the unicorn. That's what you're
Yeah,
talking
so I've been doing the dropship model, but it hasn't gone out to plan. I started in retail arbitrage, that was better. I wasn't getting as many returns or refunds, but recently I started working with a supplier that is not good, so I've been going through a lot of refunds.
Not good meaning they could have good pricing, but they don't fulfill themselves.
They're not fulfilling good product, and I think it's backfiring on me. So I was trying to get a low cost, but it's biting the hand.
And how long have you been doing this, you mentioned?
Only a year.
So the biggest struggle you're having right now is finding suppliers.
Exactly.
My hack for that, and I wish I could say I invented this, but in my opinion, there is no better way to get suppliers than to go to trade shows. Like the next one, which I would say is calls over email, is in my opinion, a very distant second.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody? There's some veterans in here.
I'm wondering if Walmart is kind of good at that now for wholesale.
You're stealing my thunder. So I wasn't gonna say wholesale, I was gonna say arbitrage. I've not attempted to do this, but if you fed the criteria of what you wanted with arbitrage into operator, is there no, like you could just set that thing off.
I saw a video on YouTube of a guy that was going to to Facebook Marketplace, getting underpriced products and
Yeah.
with operator, and then listing them on eBay at the same time at a normal product and normal price, and he just arbitraging Facebook Marketplace to eBay using operator.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about a win-win there.
I'll make a deal with you guys if you want. If one of you can write or use ChatGPT, think big brain move here, and put together what you think would be good instructions to give operator, to go find some arbitrage opportunities, I'll pop it in operator, keep talking, and we can see what it finds. But I can't do both. So like, if one of you wanted to do that, no pressure.
I don't even have,
He came super prepared today. You shows the note level he planned on taking based on what I'm gonna say, right? Okay, but if you wanted to, or somebody has something you just want to test operator and try to like break it, I'll pop something in and we just keep talking and we see what it does in the background. But yeah, I can imagine with wholesale, I'm just not clear of what the criteria is for wholesale. Because I feel like getting wholesale brands, if you're gonna go online search method, it's not the criteria, because you might be like, I want brands, I want this, I want that, but even if it meets the criteria, it doesn't mean it's a hard yes. They might sell on it. I guess you'd put and doesn't, that'd be difficult.
yeah, a lot of different searches. You have to give a very detailed prompt, for sure. That's doable.
Yeah, I'm trying. Operator right now is so sticky for me. I'm trying to like not make today an AI day and keep going back into it, but it's, yeah, okay, good. What's the plan for the next week so that in a week from now, finding suppliers is not,
Right now, I'm planning just to purchase directly and then having Walmart fulfill for me.
I'm sorry.
Like I'm planning to just order products and then try them out myself, see the quality, and then pretty much order a big stock amount and be able to send them to Walmart for them to fulfill for me.
Walmart fulfillment?
Yeah.
WFS, okay.
Yes, sir.
Anybody else wanna? No?
Well, the only thing I can say is, I've been to umpteen trade shows, it doesn't even have to be in your niche or your industry. You'll go to something totally unrelated,
Can,
and you may still find stuff related to your niche in some way, and it may even trigger something in your brain that you hadn't thought of, because you're just so focused, you almost get horse blinders in your own industry. And a second point I wanted to make back on the earlier conversation, these tools, some of them are very expensive, especially if you have more than one. But as a beginner, you can batch your work, sign up for a month, and then get rid of it because you've done all the work you need, and it doesn't end up being $2,400 a year. And a third point on that is some of the digital banking and the digital accounts we now have, checking accounts and whatnot, some of them will let you set up temporary credit card numbers, for lack of a better term, that expire within a certain time.
virtual credit cards.
Yeah, virtual credit cards. So you set that expiration and you don't forget to unsubscribe. It just, the payment won't be made. And then you'll get a reminder typically from the company and you can decide, okay, I do want to re-enroll or I don't. So.
Yeah, makes sense. How's business for you?
That's just, I haven't really done much of that.
Okay.
So it's just been, I still have the products there on Amazon. And then I turn off my PC, so it's just like goes in really working. I still have like 300 units, and I just kind of put it on, the back burner,
Okay.
and try and kind of get back into
Start
it.
the engine.
So I'm like, you know what, let me come to these classes and get myself associated with people that know about,
Mhm.
topics. And hopefully that kind of gives me some motivation,
Okay. I like it.
to get another product going.
Okay. I love it. Anybody else?
Sure.
Yeah.
Question. Customer avatars. You have a product, you think it's a good product for the marketplace, but you want to make sure that your listing is,
The
it
question
talks,
the
it
question I
talks.
couldn't look at all week.
Why?
You talking about I think I know what you're gonna say. Go ahead.
It talks to the right customer. So maybe you have your 1, 2, 3 customer avatars. How do you get there? How do you
How do you get to the
decide?
avatar?
Huh?
How do you get to the avatar? or
How do you get to the avatar? So that you know how to craft your listing correctly. And yeah, it's the same question I had all week for you.
I know, that's what I got destroyed this week with like slams. And then my motivation was gone because you stood me up at the gym.
Used to, yeah.
You didn't show up on Monday. You set the week with bad tone. how to create your avatar. So I've never had this issue only because I create content first, and it's very easy when you're creating content to tweak and test, and you know who's signing up for your email list, who's clicking on your lead magnet, getting information from them, segmenting them. I beat the drum of trivia, quizzes, polls, and contests forever. Those sorts of things give you really all the information you know. In the very beginning, I think what you do is you try to make as good of a guess as possible based on things that, just asking people around you, because I like to get into things that I'm passionate about or would like to be passionate about. I'm usually the avatar for the product, so it makes it even easier. I think I would have a really hard time. I mean, the marketing brain in me would be able to do it, but like, I think absent that, it would be very difficult for me to not be passionate about the product, to not have created any content about the product, and then also be able to like really dial in the avatar with a high degree of accuracy. I think what you could do, like if I needed to start and I didn't have a marketing brain right now, how about that? Like I'm gonna try to say I didn't have a marketing brain and I just wanted to figure this out right now in 2025. I would find my top 5 competitors that are doing it great. I would put them in ChatGPT. I'd explain what I'm trying to do, and I'd say based on like here's their blogs, here I'd subscribe to their emails, I'd drop all that in there and say based on this, like what is the avatar or avatars that they're going after? And I feel like if they're successful and they're creating content, and preferably if they're running ads, because that means if they've been running ads for any length of time,
Ads off Amazon.
preferably ads off Amazon, but nowadays you can tell some of it from like sponsored brand ads or like the way they crafted their storefront. But yes, if they're doing meta ads specifically, and they've been doing it for a year, they either love losing money or they've dialed in their avatar. And you should be able to get it from that. That should get you like over 95% of the way.
And if they're not running mid ads?
The other ones, but if they don't have a website, or they have a website that's like a landing page, they don't have blogs, they don't have content, they don't have anything, like you should be able to beat them with just some educated guesses, in my opinion. You're not going to dial in at 100%, but you should be able to beat them. Also, I'm going to say, I wish these were like more actionable answers, but I'm going to say, I don't think I'm going to guess that most people are not 100% right on who their avatar is when they start something, and that a lot of the times the product and the message and everything evolves. And I think there's some good examples on that. Like if somebody can fact check me on this, but I believe Slack started as a gamer chat, and they saw that a bunch of businesses were using it because it was also great for messages, and they pivoted and evolved it into what it is today. So you go in with the best guess you can, and you're trying to figure it out. We joked about something once before, and I can mention your product.
Okay.
You're into the games and creating board games, sometimes card games, yeah? And we were talking at one of the breakfasts about that and what kind of games you should do, and like you had asked me like what would you do, like how would you, because I keep talking about email lists, and I'm like, well, how would you go about doing that? And I was like, well, I wouldn't create an email list that was just called board games. I would try, I don't know if this is the #1 person for it, but I would try and say, I'm creating an email list for dads who want to play board games with their kids. Now, moms might be the biggest buyer of it, and moms might be the person that plays board games with the kids more. But I'm a dad, or I feel like it would be easier for me if I wasn't a dad, that I'm at least a male. No offense to anybody that still struggles with this, but like that I'm a male, that if I'm getting up there and I'm talking about it, like, it kind of looks like maybe I want to be a dad, and when I'm a dad, I'll think that. So I would start that way. But then if I was doing that and I realized people were asking me for solitaire and solo games, I would say, wait a minute, like, there's a market here, and that market is, what are all the games, like, this sounds like a killer niche, like, let's create a niche on solo card games that you can have fun and play anywhere, you don't need anyone. That starts sounding exciting to me, because now it becomes easier for me to know who that type of person is. It'd be easier to just exclude people. Like, I probably don't want to target you if you're in a relationship, and you know, you get what I'm saying? But it evolved into something else, and I did the best I could in the beginning. That's how I approach it. Yeah, anybody else want to chime in on avatars? No? That's excellent. Now I have to come up with like a kick butt definition for that. It's the profile of your buyer or the person you want to engage with, including like demographic, psychographic. Yeah.
So to add on to that, so I did a pick food, I was telling you, test this weekend. Thanks to Tom, he gave me some great advice for all you guys. And I just logged in, it's like, oh, you can get your first free one with 5 people. I was like, great. So I got a lot of information, but what was really interesting was it shows you sex, age, demographic. I was like, oh, I'm hitting my customer. That's exactly who I'm aiming for. So, and it also showed me who I wasn't. So I think it's really interesting just to go on to like the pick food thing, that not only can you see like, oh, this is better, and by the way, I did it against myself, not against like this one and that one again, but like, not against the competition thing. But I think it was very informative to know, because if you say, I want to go for 30-year-old males, and then your feedback, who loves your stuff, is like, 25-year-old female's favorite, then you might have a problem.
Yeah, it would influence things like the music choice you put on your Instagram posts.
Yeah.
The kind of verbiage you use in your email. If my customers, I don't know, teenagers, I'm probably not going to do my, quotes from Return of the Jedi. Like, it really lets you dial in your message with the person, the types of colors you use, the packaging you use, the examples you use of your product. So it's important to know, but I don't think you can know it 100% when you begin. And I do think trying to be as neutral as possible because you don't know 100% is the biggest mistake most people make. Like, I'd rather sell a man's, you could say female, you could say whatever, but I personally would rather sell men's soap than soap. Right? Yeah. And when I start doing a whole bunch of research and I start reading like, oh my God, female soap is what, soap period or female soap is way off the charts. I could decide to just totally change. I got a lot of I start a second line, I start a different brand, but I don't want to be neutral. Like, I think that's where a lot of money goes to die. Yeah.
I have found my personal struggle. Oh, sorry.
Even though your projection is still as good as ever.
Yeah, I know, I talk loud. Okay, so if I develop an avatar and we develop products that are sold not to the avatar, how do I put this? Okay, we have an avatar, let's say it's a firefighter, okay? We're not selling to the firefighter, we're selling to people that would buy gifts for the firefighter. So that could be a mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, coworker. So we're having trouble targeting the avatar because the avatar is so widespread. Does that make sense? Like if we made gifts for firefighters, the firefighter is not our avatar. The people that are buying the gifts for the firefighter are the actual avatar, but there's many of them.
Yeah, gifts create issues when it's a product that's like just for gifts. You're gonna have some people that just go in there, like, remember firefighters buy firefighters gifts, right? But
But it's a smaller percentage.
sure, but what I would do to approach something like that is I would find, and it's kind of like, I guess, marketing 101. I would go find all the firefighter communities. I would find all the the next time there's a local draw, they're constantly, so-and-so got hurt from firefighter station, whatever. I'd drop a few $100 on a tent and I'd give free coffee. Like I do a lot of things with those communities to get on the radar with them. I would consider creating a piece of content out there or some kind of like best gifts for firefighters. Because it's so niche like that within gifts, it's probably also going to be very easy to rank organically in most cases.
You're talking about marketing, okay? But developing the avatar is hard. That's the near impossibility because they're not any one.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, it'd be very difficult. Yeah, because anybody could be a friend or an ex or a relationship with or whatever, a firefighter.
So what's a potential solution for that?
I don't think you build. I think two things. One, you could build a bunch of avatars, which just off how broad that is, I think it would be too much. But you could, if it wasn't that wide, I would build a bunch of avatars. Like at the end of the day, who's gifting it? It's going to be sibling to mom or dad. It's going to be, girlfriend or, spouse.
It's
to,
still multiple avatars.
right, but it's probably going to be about 6. But even then, they're going to be really general. You could do that, or you could just say, okay, look, this exercise is not worth it right now. If I had a list of 10,000 people who had bought from me, I could look at that list and then say, oh, wow, I would have never thought of this. Like,
Almost like a lookalike audience, yeah.
yeah, I can't think of a better example, and I'm not implying this, but like, let's just say you had this list and we're just here, we can't figure anything out. And then you look at this and you're like, oh my God, like 80% of these were like MAGA voters. You'd be like, that's a pretty important thing to know for your avatar. You know what I mean? Like,
Or wives.
or why, yeah, or why, yeah. So
Or mothers.
I don't think you can get it 100% in the beginning. So you're just
Good, I
like,
don't feel so bad now.
yeah. That makes sense, everyone? Yeah, Fernando?
There's a question in the,
Sure.
before you switch.
What's the question?
So it says, I got banned from initiating new customer messages a few years ago due to an incorrectly set up follow-up sequence. I have tried appealing it several times, but support says it's permanent. Any ideas?
I've never seen somebody get out of that. Yeah. I mean, yeah, I've never seen somebody get out of that. The other one I've never seen somebody get out of is a ban on inbound FBA shipments, which it's rare, but that's like a picnic with no sandwiches at that point. Like, I would just consider opening another account. Yeah.
Quick last question. When you're joining Facebook groups to kind of, do you think you should do that from only your business page or from your personal page as well?
Yeah. On the like what I told them, kind of like about the firefighter thing, about joining communities.
Well, yeah, like, let's say you're gonna wanna promote your product or get to know your, you wanna engage with your customers, and let's say there's these groups with like 50,000 people, do you think you should be promoting your stuff more as from the business page or from the personal, aspect?
Personal.
Personal.
Yeah, on Facebook I would do personal, and if you're going to join somebody else's community, most community leaders I know, one of the first instructions they give to somebody moderating the community is to set up a rule to block pages from joining.
Right, okay.
Right, so it's meant for people to kind of interact, The other thing you really want to avoid, and unfortunately there's still like webinars out there teaching this, and like, you don't want to join these communities that I was mentioning. Not that I'm saying you would, and I know Raymond wouldn't, but like, you don't join these communities and then just start like DMing everyone. Like there's there's an etiquette in these groups, and then there's a much higher standard that applies to you because you do have a business. Like you'll notice, you won't see posts from me in other people's Amazon communities unless they tagged me and then I respond. It's kind of like, you'll either see somebody just going in there and like answering everything with like, well, for my clients, and you know, passively selling, or somebody's in there and says, oh my God, I want to get a gift for my so-and-so, and then you're linking to your product and you're like, you know, I have 1,000 happy customers, you know, you should check me out at, like, communities don't like that. I would join the community, I would immediately DM the person running the community, or if you want to do it with a little more forethought, I'd do some research on the community you're going to join beforehand and see like what makes them tick, like what do they like to do? Do they seem to have a podcast or an Instagram that they're really proud of, or what's going on? Share that out there a little bit. Tag them on other social platforms. Get on their radar. Reach out to them before joining the group. Don't ask for permission to join, but just reach out to them like, hey, I loved your content. Then join the Facebook group. Like, oh my God, I just discovered your Facebook group. I was talking to Fulano over here on LinkedIn and da-da-da-da. And then that becomes easier then for you to join and say, I got this cool announcement. Are you interested in doing, you know, XYZ together?
Okay.
Something I do that works really good with community is it's like strategic partnerships. So I'll do at least 2 15 to 20 minute calls a week, every week, and it just stacks on itself year over year. Outreach to people that I'm just going to jump on a call with you. No, I'm not going to sell you anything, except maybe the idea at the end of, hey, how about once a year, you and I swap a blog, or once a year, we'll do an email swap, or something. Just get something on the books to be able to do. And not everyone's going to do it. And once a year seems to be the number that doesn't get overwhelming.
Yeah.
You know. But if you do that and it stacks on each other, then it's just, that gets easy, yeah.
Thanks.
But this is stuff you could be doing before your product hits
Okay.
FBA.
Yeah.
Any other questions? You guys surprised me. You had a bunch of different questions today. I have these cool examples I wanted to pull up and show you, but it's already 2:04. I was speaking at an event this week, and somebody asked me a question. They said, I thought it was a really cool question, so I'm just gonna like pose it. I was gonna pull up the screen and show you what my answer was and like how I would have approached it. We don't have time for that, but I think maybe we can toss this around, and if it sticks, we can have a conversation out of it. But this person has a successful set of throwing darts that he sells on Amazon. And he frequently launches products. I don't know the exact frequency, but let's just call it like quarterly. And when he launches these products, there's a specific brand, and they're all in the same niche. There's a specific brand, within a few months afterwards, pops in, and say he's selling his darts for $19.99 and it's a bestseller, like he knows how to play Amazon. Person comes in and they sell an almost identical looking, not counterfeit, but you get what I'm saying, like close enough, and he sells it for $8 or $9.99. Quickly gets some reviews, and he says it decimates his sales. Okay? What would you guys do in that scenario? You're sitting on 1,000 units of darts. You just reordered because you didn't want to run out of stock, and it was doing good. You just reordered, and you ordered 5,000 units. And before the 5,000 units just ship, which means in a year it'll be an FBA. No. It just ships. You're counting down the months, and this clown pops up, and he's selling it for $8.99, $9.99, and he's already starting to get reviews. The Vine reviews are coming in. It's going to happen again. What would you do?
What was the price?
He's selling his for $19.99. The price, not so important, but just for the sake of the conversation, say $19.99. Guy comes in at $8.99, $9.99.
Increased advertising.
So increase advertising. Tom?
I would call Ramon, and I'd, sell Ramon some money and have him buy him completely out of inventory.
So you go black hat.
I'd combine him out of inventory.
But she's on my side on this one. He has a cap on it. Maximum 2 units can be purchased.
That's not gonna happen with ours. All right.
Well, that's good, but that's an option. Well, let's throw a monkey wrench in it, but it's totally an option. It's go in there, wipe him out of his inventory, receive it, rip the lids off, and do a return.
Is it only 2 darts? Is it more competitive?
No, there's other people selling darts, but the style of this person's darts, you know, the nice pictures, there's nothing patentable, unique, but person takes the time to create great main images, knows the keyword game, creates great titles. Huh? Raise the price. Who else? What would you raise it to?
29,
Okay,
39 maybe?
okay.
I'll take it outside of Amazon, put it on TikTok.
You take it off of Amazon and put it on TikTok. You take it off of Amazon and put it on TikTok? Or,
I'll take it on TikTok, on Amazon, but start launching the TikTok world.
okay.
Or raise the price and double the product quality.
So you sell it
3 for 30 instead of.
two for 30 instead of a, okay. These are good. What else? Anything? Okay. There's no wrong answers, by the way. Proud of you too, Tom, going for the jug. I said raise it to $24 to $29.99 to be able to absorb more ads, get more aggressive with ads, and to figure out, I could think of a bunch of things, but I would do some sort of differentiator that is apparent in the main image to stand out and be different. My go-to one is an app, but showing people how to get started selling, throwing darts, but I agree, raising the price actually helps. Anyone that's looking for a cheap set of darts, they're still gonna buy the $8.99. Some of those people won't do the $24.99, $29.99 that would have, and they'll go to that, but it still keeps you alive and probably increases your profit margin, in my opinion. $29.99, I'm not sure. $24.99, I feel very confident.
Wouldn't we wanna stay above $24.99 price-wise? So it's-
That's why I threw in there, like, let's not play with the price. But yes, normally you don't want to be at 20. If you're at $20.99, just go to $24.99. Yeah. Cool.
I tried going from 15 to 20 in one of my products, which is completely timed.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard. It's trying. Psychology always says you're either $14.99 or you're $19.99 or $24.99 or something that's, man, it's hard. It's hard to get it up there.
Did you do anything different with the product or the main image when you raised the price, or you just said, no one's paying attention, I'm going to raise it?
I raised the price to be able to complete keywords. But yeah, other than that, no, I didn't do much.
Yeah. I think that does matter.
Did anyone say change the packaging?
Right, but in this case, you got 5,000 units on the way, you have 1,000.
That's right.
Change the packaging might be if you survive. Right. But yeah, change the packaging for sure.
So I have one product that it was $29.99, and non-Prime members had to pay shipping. But once I raised it to 30, it was free shipping for non-Prime members for that 1 penny. So my conversion was, the shipping was like $6, $7.
At $29.99.
$29.99 for non-Prime. I moved it to 30, and then I tested it, and it automatically gave free shipping to the non-Prime members.
Who is that guy? The one that doesn't have Prime?
I was running it for 1
Does any,
minute.
Ray, you don't have a Prime account?
It was like,
What?
You have Prime, you don't,
No, I was-
it was like,
does anybody here not, does anybody here not have a Prime account?
I know.
Don't be shy. Anybody not have a Prime account? Yes.
I don't.
You don't? Really?
I order 12 things
I have,
a year
I
on
have
Amazon.
Prime Key that
Wow.
sometimes you.
And if I need something, I ask for my friends.
Sometimes you send me a link so I can pay.
I mean, I don't
wife and I. A lot.
But back to your other question, you could bundle the darts with a carrying case.
Mm-hmm.
You could change it to a pack of 6 and raise the price. I don't know if the tips or the feathers wear out, but you could bundle it with some replacement parts.
I agree. I agree. If you,
75% of the US has Prime, 75.
yeah, yeah. I've been saying 71 since the last one I saw. It was, and it was,
2024, 75%.
in 2019, it was 54%.
Wow.
COVID, how can you bundle something if the item is already going to Amazon? So there's virtual bundles would be one, and that would, right, I don't find them to be that amazing. In that scenario, if you were deciding, I'm gonna bundle this, or I'm gonna turn my, say each one of them had 20 darts, I don't know, and you wanted to turn them into 30 darts, you'd receive your units that are coming in from China, and you'd play some mix and match. You're probably stuck. Yeah, you'd probably be stuck. Yeah, absolutely. Not sure if you guys have been paying attention to anything on the Amazon Vendor Central side. Before we get into today's topic, usually what you see happen on the Vendor Central side means it's not too long until you see it on the Amazon Seller Central side. But on the Vendor Central side, they shut down about 30% of the buyers they work with. So brands like us, that they severed the relationships and said, we're no longer going to be purchasing from you. And they cited the upcoming UPS change, even though it's not going to be until like 2026. But what we talked about last week, ironically, Amazon, it's not a UPS change. I guess it is. UPS has decided that they're going to cut all or up to 60%. They're going to cut the preferred carrier program. And they're going to cut like 60% of some other special relationship that they have with Amazon when it comes to shipping. And it's supposed to take effect by the middle of next year. Be fully in place by the middle of next year. Like I was saying last week, small parcel delivery is gonna, the way we know small parcel delivery with preferred carrier is gonna get wrecked. So I think you should now, especially with how long things are taking if you're doing private label from the time you order to the time you get it in, and this example I gave, 5,000 units on the way, take into account that, in my opinion, unless Amazon does something with the carriers, the army of carrier trucks that they have locally, maybe, God knows, maybe they start picking some stuff up. But if you do small parcel delivery preferred carrier, and you rely on that for your boats to sail, for your products, I would look at it and make sure that that business model still works with pallets, light container loads or light truck loads, and containers. I think you could be looking at like a 80% increase in inbound shipping.
I think you have to look at the Amazon logistics blooming to handle all that. That also might be behind the scenes why UPS is jumping out. Because Amazon small package logistics, Amazon. Well, my representative freight told me originally supposed to have been January, February for LTL, through Amazon Freight. He said later on in the year. So I think that's what's happening, that they're going to offer the services, and UPS wants to downsize what they have and help them before that happens.
So they're gonna offer that service.
LTL, no question, is getting the dogs out. Before COVID, they were offering small package pickup and injecting it into the Amazon system.
I mean, wouldn't you say that that's basically going to kill everybody that doesn't have velocity in Amazon? Because if you don't have velocity, you don't ship LTL. Some products that just don't have
Fernando.
velocity.
Can you explain it again? Like, will it
Some
kill-
products, they just don't have velocity, right? Like every brand out there, they have great products that do a lot and products that don't have velocity. And for those that don't, you do small parcel. So those products are gonna disappear, essentially, right? That's what you're saying.
I didn't think about it like that. I was more thinking of like the typical private label seller that was sending it in, but yeah, if you, so you're saying the person that just needs to send a couple units every month, that's done?
For example, I sell a card game that is just a single deck of cards. It's 140 units per carton. Maybe I can get it to velocity of sending a full LTL, but probably not. I'm not going to be able to move that many units a month on that one product. So I may just decide to kill the product, because if my shipping cost is going to go 2x, it may not be worth it anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Same thing with like cheap jewelry. Like how many, can you imagine an LTL of cheap jewelry boxes?
Yeah.
All of that's going away then, right?
Well, like Barry said, they didn't say this, I haven't seen this, but it would make sense that Amazon would step in with their own carriers to do something like to just take it over. But since they didn't make that announcement, when I saw the UPS one, I was kind of like, okay, like there's more to this story, but in the meantime, let's do this. Kind of like they have been announcing the fee changes and stuff coming with logistics and how it was going to change for a long time, but then so many people just felt like they had no warning, and it just completely disrupted their business. I'm just trying to bring it up now so everybody's like, hey, middle of next year, like, this thing's gonna happen. So I'm sure there's something else that's gonna be done.
Well, just think about all the drivers and all the trucks feeding the local delivery hubs are going full. The drivers are coming out full, coming back empty. Trucks going in full, coming out empty. So it's like a no-brainer that they're gonna, flesh out that in the very near future.
Yeah, it makes sense. All right, no other questions till we get into our topic of the week? Okay. And by the way, I know some of you are writing this down and been thanking me for these notes, but I made a bunch of notes of pretty much everything that I'm talking about today. If somebody wants to access these insanity notes that I have and my links and all this stuff, just let me know. It's just a doc. Reach out to me and I'll send you this doc. Okay. So the topic today is going to be about, I think I wrote Amazon and TikTok, but it's the influencer program for Amazon and TikTok. Specifically on Amazon, it's the Amazon influencer program, and on TikTok, it's TikTok creator. So I'm probably going to like unavoidably touch on some cool things I've discovered that you can do with TikTok as a brand, but I'm going to try to confine the conversation today to how you could be making money doing what I would call very, very basic videos of products, and then a bunch of like of this helmet, just like, oh, I really like this helmet. It made me think of Clone Wars. I have it sitting on my office desk and I get a lot of compliments, blah. Or if you really want to show off, I'll be doing it on a balcony at the beach with the beach in the background like Carmen does, and I'll show the helmet. And then you get that video and you go to your Amazon Creator Hub, you upload it to Amazon, you tag it to the ASIN, and now anytime somebody looks at a video of this product, you make a commission of the sale and anything else they have in the cart. So that's on the Amazon influencer side. On the TikTok side, it's not that much different. And I've learned a few things over the last few months that I was like, okay, let's have another one of these groups so I can share what I've learned, what we're doing, and how you can jump in this and do it too. So on the TikTok side, you also can create videos, and you also can make money from those videos, except the way you're gonna make money from those videos is different than how you do it on the Amazon influencer program. There's actually several ways you can make money that way. One of them, which was the last time we talked about this, I felt the only way people were making money, we got a course on it, we were going through it, and it was that we needed to, the topic then was, how do I grow my TikTok account to 5,000 followers so that I can now, with the same helmet, tag it to the TikTok shop product, and now when I'm doing a video on this product, somebody can click on it to buy the product, the link on my TikTok, and then I immediately make a commission depending on what the commission was for that product that was set in the TikTok shop. You with me? Okay. It's actually a lot of easier ways to make money and very fast than by doing that. So we hired someone to, I'll touch on TikTok for a second, then I'm gonna jump back to the Amazon Influencer Program. We hired somebody, because I wasn't having the time to sit there and do all these reviews for TikTok. And recently we hired someone who's now begun doing, 5 to 10 videos a day on the Amazon influencer stuff, just reviewing products. And something we discovered is the easiest way to make money in the beginning as a TikTok creator is directly with brands. I'll just call them brand deals. And right now, brands are aware that one of the easiest ways to rank on Amazon is through TikTok. And having TikTok creators, not even like, I'm gonna use the word influencer, but I don't want anyone to be intimidated by that. Every single one of us in here can be that influencer. But has somebody who's willing to just record a video review of a product on influencer, record a video a day, or 15 videos a month, or 30 videos a month, and people in turn see these videos, it grows awareness for the brand, and a percentage of them then say, wait a minute, I don't really trust buying this product on TikTok. Let me jump over to Amazon and buy it because I trust Amazon, and 75% of people have an Amazon Prime account. So why deal with this TikTok insanity of shipping and I don't know what's gonna happen? It's probably the best way I've ever seen to launch products on Amazon, period, and it's with TikTok. Now, some weird things happened. So we were spending a lot of time figuring out how to grow our TikTok channel to 5,000 followers and trying to get some processes in place so we didn't get too disorganized. And then we started reaching out to some brands to just say, hey, would you, we see that you're looking for influencers. We don't have a history of being an influencer or anything like that, but we were trying to really just build a portfolio of saying, here's a history of having worked with, XYZ brand. We'll do the video basically for nothing, but like, can we just get the product and do the video? And they would say, almost all of them, they'd say, okay, but you don't have a history. Can you send us a video of what you would do? Sure thing. So she did a video, she sent it, the first one, she did a video, she sent it to them, and they were like, yeah, that's great. We'll pay you $500 a month if you just keep doing these videos. I was like, what?
Well, what kind of brand was that?
This specific one was a brand called Spicy Cubes. But it's nothing unique about Spicy Cubes. We've got a bunch more since then. And Spicy Cubes is I think it's got like maca powder in it, and it's trying to portray itself as like an aphrodisiac cube, and that like you and your significant other eat it and you get all frisky, that type of thing. You know about that. And we were like, what? You're gonna pay $500, maybe they meant to say just $500. No, I'll just pay you $500 a month. We just wanna lock you in per month to be able to do these videos.
How many a month?
This person wanted 15. Yeah. So you're like, that still puts me on the hook for 15 videos. That sounds like work. No, they give you the 15 videos that they want. Kind of like, here's the general idea of what we're going for here. Here's a few words we'd like you to say. They tell you the hooks. They tell you all that, You're editing that you're thinking, well, I still gotta edit the videos, or I gotta hire someone. No, you're using CapCut, and like you could have half a brain and use CapCut. It kind of does the editing for you with CapCut. And we were like, okay, well, this is cool. But then then they told us something, and we weren't ready for this. And I was like, this has to be a fluke. And I think this is important for you to know, because I think a lot of you are not doing it because you don't realize this. They said, we need you to open up a new TikTok account. And we're like, what? Like we're getting ready to put a lot of love into our TikTok account. We want like the whole flywheel to happen here. We want to put all this love on one TikTok account so everyone that sees it, it just looks better and better with every brand. No, none of these brands want you to use your account. So Is there an advantage later on, which we'll get to later today, on having an account with 5,000 so that you can hook up the TikTok shop? Yes. But for the purposes of making money as a creator really fast on TikTok right now, it has nothing to do with it. And what happens is these brands, and the reason why they want to pay you per month, is they want you to keep reviewing products for them and posting all of them on that new profile that you created just for them. And as time goes on, it looks like there's this profile that's just dedicated to them, and there's a whole bunch of these things around TikTok, and a big percentage of these people are in turn just gonna buy that product on Amazon. So one thing I would encourage you to do if you were thinking about making money as a creator or influencer, I'm gonna use those things interchangeably, is not to ignore TikTok right now. There was a point where I took the course several months back on the TikTok side, and I was like, man, I can't crack this. I think GC got like $1.80. She broke my wife GC, by the way. She did this thing with these socks, with like magnet socks. There's like hairballs in the back of my house on tile floors. It was like she broke every rule on this thing, and was like, at the time, one of the only ones to actually get a commission off of a TikTok video. And I was like, I'm not doing all this to then have somebody come in and do this, what I call a crap video, and it's only $1.80. But then I saw this, and I was like, I gotta talk to the group about this. Some important things also is we're spending a lot of time previously talking about the types of videos you should create and all these different hooks and stuff like that. Not a single one of the videos that these brands have sent us of what they want and that they want to pay for have anything that even remotely resembles a hook. Do I think hooks are important in videos? Yes. But for the purposes of making money with brand deals, it seems to have precious little to do with anything.
That's because they don't know any better, man, but yes, they do.
I think they do. These brands kind of know what they're talking about. They have like pretty substantial catalogs. They look like high 8-figure brands. I think, look, when you started the Amazon influencer program, for those of you that were around then, I just logged back into my Amazon influencer account for like the first time in God knows how long. I don't think I've posted since like October, or I don't know, something like that. And at the time we had got up to a few $1,000s a month on it. Haven't done anything since. And the thing's still at like $350 a month. I haven't done anything. And I looked in there because Moises, who's on the team, Moises is gonna start posting every single day in it. And I was like, hey, I'm trying to show him like, hey, look, this is what the last day, these are the sales we got, like check this out. I made $1.80 for an air soil. I made $1.80 for an air soil review I did, which is soil for like air plants of Tom's a long time ago when we first started the program. I make about $1.80 a day. I've never opened this product. I've never used this product. As a matter of fact, I think it's borderline gimmicky. I think it was, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, there's no way I converted someone into buying these air soils, you know? And it's happening. And he was like blown away by this. So back then I could create this crap video and it would just sell. It's not really it sold, like the person was convinced to buy and they were just exploring and they looked at my video and then all of a sudden they were just like, yeah, let's just buy. They bought. I didn't convince them to buy, but because they looked at my video, I made a commission. So you could get away with crap videos back then. You still can. I don't think you should though. I think you should, I mean, if you're doing this, like try to be the best you can at it, try to do the best you can at it. I think you should be doing that with everything. And that's my long-winded way of saying though, even though you don't have to do all these hooks and all this fancy stuff in your videos to make money as a TikTok or Amazon influencer, just try to level up a little bit. I think if I spent today telling you about all these hooks that you needed to do and all this setup and all this other stuff, you just wouldn't do it. Like it would just be too much and you'd spend the next few weeks buying courses and
Can you give an example
of
like a hook, or instead of a crappy video, what makes it an exceptional?
Here's a hook. I used a hook at Toastmasters. I go to Toastmasters now weekly with some people from the team. And at Toastmasters, I had to do my icebreaker. I don't know if any of you heard me on like somebody else's podcast or whatever, or like my origin story on how I started this, but I'm an elementary school dropout, right? So when I get up to speak and I start with not, hi, my name's Carlos, blah, 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 I say, I'm an elementary school dropout. That hooked, I mean, you're not, like, you're hooked, right? I can pretty much do what I want at that point. That would be one that I just recently used. In a video, you can do that. In a video for a product, say it's a title, you could say, don't buy these, is a weak hook, but you're like, we're not visual learners. You're like, yeah, we're visual learners. Like, so that's like,
Here's one example for a product that, you know, is something that you would be interested in. For example, a guy shows up on camera and he goes, my wife had enough of it last night.
had what?
That's a hook. Had enough of it last night,
Okay.
right? So you jump into why she had enough, what was the problem, how you solved it, et cetera, et cetera.
But what makes it a really good video past that?
Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, so
The argument here is if you don't get the hook right, they leave and they don't see the video, so who cares about the
Yeah,
quality of your video?
you could spend all your work on, 80% of your work on the hook in order to be able to get people to stop scrolling. That's the whole point.
Right, so it's a really cool subject. I've been spending a lot of time on it, and I think it's, if you want to get into this and you want to do it for a long time and you don't just want this to be something you make a couple dollars on for a few months, I really think you should. It's important. But what I want to emphasize is if you just want to make some money real quick on TikTok to start, whether it's to dump into your PPC, whether it's to pay down some credit cards, I don't care, just make life easier, just have some fun bucks, whatever. You don't need to get paralyzed by it. It's not an easy subject. Like, it's deceptively, what would you call it? Like, I think a lot of people think it's very easy, but it's not.
It's not.
Right, it's not easy to do. It gets easier the more you practice the muscle, but I'd rather you do easy right now and make money. I said that and I'm gonna move past that. Go ahead, Ray.
Okay, you leave the meetup today, okay? Never done a TikTok video, okay? How do you first find a brand, and how do you approach them?
Okay.
You know, make it back to basics, simple. Somebody's never done anything like this before.
Okay,
How
so
would they start?
I'll pull that up. Here would be the 3 easiest place I know. I have a,
And I want to add a comment to something you said earlier.
yep.
A hook doesn't have to be a written hook. A lot of these videos show a short clip. So it's what we call a video hook. And that hooks you into watching the video. That first couple of seconds that keeps flipping like a jet. So you can have a video hook as well as a verbal.
This is my, if I was to base this now, as of last week, off the one that I'm making the most brand deals from, it would be this one. It would be Your First Dollar. It's a Discord. Now, there's a few things here. I think you can join the Discord just looking for brand deals. They also have a course. I would recommend it.
What are we looking at up there?
This is a Discord.
Right?
And
Which particular one?
Your First Dollar.
Okay.
That would be an easy one, and then there's a whole bunch of other ones. Two that I've learned from, I think it was from you, right? Creator Circle, Creator's Corner, and I have about several others that I'm toying around with on a different Discord that I'm just vetting first to see if they're worth sharing yet, but they've,
Can you put this in your notes today
Sure.
that
Yep.
you're gonna give to us?
yep, I will,
Thank you.
yeah. Let me make a note of that.
Because the problem most people have with anything new, they don't know the first step. They don't know where to start. They'll get all this great information, but then they're like, okay, what do I do first?
So, what I would recommend doing, I think Your First Dollar, if I was to base it off of the one we've gotten the most brands with to date, and it's very close to the others, like they're neck and neck, but if I was to say that, it'd be Your First Dollar as of now. That could change next week. I would recommend not getting all of the courses in all of them, but I do think it would help to take at least one of them. maybe if you get into your first dollar, it'll be your first dollar. No. Oh, I don't know if they have, I don't know if they have a brand on TikTok. This is just I think I have an affiliate code too. If anyone gets in, support your community. Ask me and I'll send you a link.
100%.
Yeah. No, that's not it. Yeah, here we go.
Now, Carlos, the problem I always have here is with a mug like yours, like, come on, that first dollar is going to be harder to come around
Ben?
than with a pretty girl. With a mug like yours,
Actually, not as of last week, and hopefully by next week, I'll be able to show you a video of this ugly mug, as you
Yeah.
called it, closing some brand deals.
no way.
Oh, yeah. So, having said that, since you said it, I get to say that. I didn't make the rules. Ladies, you do seem to be at an advantage in closing these deals. That's what it is. But I love the challenge.
So you would have a TikTok account, your personal.
You're gonna open one because you just want to open one to be involved, but it's gonna play zero to
No,
do with.
But they want to see who's messaging them. You send the.
You're not
brand-
even gonna message them on TikTok, so no, you don't even need
Oh,
one.
like, okay, where do you message them?
So I've messaged, if I'd say the majority through Discord, but I'm rapidly beginning to I would say by next week, it's gonna be equal. And by the week after, it's gonna be more off Discord than on.
So Discord, that your first dollar, there's a link specifically to brands and like who to contact to do this?
Yeah, well, they all have them, but,
And the Discord is the app you mentioned last week, right?
here, Creator Jobs.
Where do the brands take you to,
Oh,
to their
wait.
Slack?
Creator Jobs and opportunities.
Wait, Carlos, this Discord, like, let's just go back for a second. This is the app that you mentioned last week, right?
Discord's an app, yeah.
Discord's the app, and then is this in their?
The app is the Wizards of Ecom app. No.
Yeah, well, we know
Yeah.
that.
Oh, thank you.
So Discord is an app, and then is this in their paid program or this is in their free program that you can get what you were doing right now?
I got into the paid program of all of them, which was very affordable.
What's affordable?
I think it was like 50 to 100 bucks a month.
How much?
50 to 100.
Okay, so.
Now they all have a much higher one where they're gonna give you access to, like, I'm gonna bring in a personal deal and I'll hand it to you. I've looked at those and I've back channeled to those same brands. It's a complete waste of time. I would not pay 5K I wouldn't pay 3K. Like, I've gotten access, like, I see the brands that everyone's hinting at, like, that are getting first dibs at those, and it's not worth it. Like, you can reach out direct.
But to look at what your screen you're looking at, you have to pay $50 to $100 to get
No.
into that.
No,
That's free.
what I don't know, since I just off the bat got them,
Got
I
it.
don't know what would be unlocked and what would be locked for you.
Okay, so that's Discord, your first dollar, then on the left-hand side is, what did you just say? You said two things.
Creator Circle,
Uh-huh.
Creator's Corner.
Oh, you said that last week too.
Yeah. If you reach out to me, I'll send you links, and I think I make like, as a matter of fact, for these, I think they'll pay me like 20 bucks a month, and I'm not promoting it because of that,
No.
but it goes to our cafe and our empanadas, so that would really help.
So when you get a brand deal going, they take you over to what, Slack?
No, they don't want any. It's completely opposite of what everybody said. The majority of them want to take you over to an app called Geneva, which I had never heard of before. But it's really just like a Levanta. And I know I'm throwing a bunch of weird terminology. It's a platform for them to be able to interface in an effective way with you as an influencer. And if any taxes need to be involved or any payments need to be involved, they can do it all through one dashboard. And the 99% of them want to use something called Geneva.
A little flower app thingy?
I don't remember.
Yeah, it's a flower app, but you need an invite code to
Right.
be able to change them, because it basically wants you to integrate on the backside. So it's not
Yeah.
like you can go register for it without getting.
Correct.
Say, hey, communicate with page.
No,
Yeah.
I'm specifically asking as a brand that would use it to hire, not as a.
Well, as a brand, you probably have a way to set up an account with Geneva, so it's probably paid so that you could invite people with a code to connect with you.
Is there a video in particular that would maybe describe the steps that you need to take? Only because I didn't even know what Discord was. I thought you were on TikTok.
So I'm trying to solve that, to create something to be able to give to everybody to do that. As of now, though, I don't have it. I would recommend randomly pick one of those 3 Discords, all of them say the same thing. And if you don't want to be on the hook for like a $50 to $100 a month ongoing, get it, go through their 15 to 20 hours of whatever and cancel it. But I recommend keeping one. It's going to more than pay for itself. And you're going to convert a lot. Okay, so just get one, keep it, validate it, and you'll be very happy. Yeah, you're not going to be losing money. You might be out money the first month. Yeah. Hold up, Barry's been in the back, right? Yep.
Can you show a sample video that you might send to Brandon?
Yep.
I'd love to see your sample video, Carlos.
It's not ready yet. I'll do it next week, but it's not ready right now.
I couldn't sign up to Geneva.
I always get.
While you're doing that, can I share something about TikTok?
Sure.
So I
I'm
went to
going to share my screen so other people can see.
I went to a plant expo right in front of you. So I went to a plant expo and I met a guy that had a really kind of cool booth, almost like a tiki booth, and he was selling something called prop drops. So he takes these little drops, puts them into water, and it grows a snipping off your plant. And I was like, okay, and he had this huge banner saying, big seller on TikTok. And I was like, I can't believe this guy's selling on TikTok. So I started talking to him, super cool young guy, probably 28 years old. And so I look on the TikTok and I'm like, oh my God, he's selling this $14.99 droplet, little medicine bottle thing, selling over 20,000 units a month. And I said, what? How are you doing this? And he goes, very simple. All I do is I recruit influencers for TikTok. That's all I do. As a matter of fact, come on and take a look at my booth. I've got a couch set up in here for my influencers to show up and just do content at the trade show. That's it. He goes, because I'm thinking about it a different way. I'm thinking about it from the brand, thinking about how I'm gonna pay or make TikTok ads to go after you as the customer. He thinks about it in a totally different perspective, right? He's thinking about it from like, I just wanna get 50 other salespeople and I'm gonna pay them to do 10 videos a month. And they're gonna get a commission on if they sell them. And I said, well, how are your Amazon sales going? He goes, well, funny you say that. And I looked on Amazon, 15,000 sales a month. He goes, my Amazon sales are now catching up with my TikTok sales, but I started with TikTok. So as a launch strategy, maybe we need to consider how we launch with putting money into just PPC, 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 and finding influencers in your specific sector and paying them, like what Carlos is explaining to you. So I'm giving you kind of the other side of it. Carlos is telling you should do this as a creator, but what about if I was a brand and I wanted to hire you as a creator for my niche? Pretty wild, right? I mean, this is, I can't imagine, I bet you the bottle costs more than what was inside of this thing. So anyway.
I just saw a girl do a video, she sells like a course, whatever, and she said the same
What?
thing. I sold
Yeah.
20,000 last month.
It was good.
just
Yeah,
to
TPI was
such and
good.
such influencers.
So I'm probably over the next, like put it like this. This is gone. I tried to put the volume on this. I'd have to send it to you if you want to listen to it. I think you should be able to get the gist, but for some reason the audio's not, like it just starts giving like a bad feedback. But I will.
While he's figuring that out, guys, listen. TikTok to Amazon Road. Whoa.
Hold on.
I have no words. I am speechless. I am distraught. I've had the craziest morning I have ever had in my life. So this morning I wake up.
Can't hear.
We were doing the norm, and I decided to try.
She's out of frame.
If we put the mic next to it, wouldn't even give a higher volume.
Yeah, it's. I've never solved the setup of playing the audio. I just need to. I think I need to do something to the audio board temporarily, and I'm like, man, if I do that, my non-techie self is gonna like blow the rest of the stream.
There's no profit showing up on this?
Oh yeah, hold up.
I'm waiting.
Did the person pull it up yet with their hands?
How long is this
No, it's
A
short.
minute.
video? Minute?
Yeah.
What if you don't want that area? Oh, there it is.
Is this your girl?
It's my business partner's girlfriend, but
No, I just meant, no, I meant like, is this the girl that you work with?
no, it's fair. But that's been the comment. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, your girl" or whatever. And then when I'm around my business partner, I'm always like, "Yes, she works for Bluebird now."
Got it,
Yeah.
okay.
And we should be hiring a few more, but it's gone so well. She put her notice in at the full-time job she had because we wanted to validate it. So she'll start full-time doing nothing but this in about, depending on, she gave a month notice, so I'd say maybe another 2 weeks.
Well, what's full-time?
Well, you don't need to do full-time.
No, but I'm saying like, for her, like, full-time.
I'll do 40 hours a week.
Okay, 40 hours a week making videos.
That was well, no, good question. So it's not gonna be all making videos. It's gonna be some making videos. It's gonna be training other people.
Got it.
It's gonna be creating a course so that at a nominal, like $50 type of thing. My evil intention here is if I can get as many people from my Salsa Kings business, from here and other places, Ramon's credit for the Salsa Kings business, to be trained in this. They can go out and make their own money, but it also gives me an army of influencers that I can then get brands and come with those brands and say, hey, I got a bunch of people, they can make money, I can make money from the brands. So it's a way for everyone to kind of make money. I have the brands, I have the people that can do this, and it makes sense for the Wizards of Ecom because it also checks the box, which is hard for me, and that is, either somebody's in a private label position but they can't afford the PPC side of it, or they want to start and they want to do private label but they don't have the capital for it now. I usually recommended arbitrage, but I feel like the landscape's changed a great deal, so it becomes a harder and harder thing for me to recommend. But I will, absent anything else, this influencer program stuff, there is zero reason to be, unless you just love the grind and you just love the hunt, there's no reason to be doing that anymore.
He went first.
I have UGC creator, Amazon creator, TikTok creator, and maybe Instagram. I can use one video, everything.
And if you get that one video and use it everywhere, the brand will pay you an extra $50 per platform on your recurring monthly. So $500 to go here, plus $50 for Instagram. The other one you said was $50 for YouTube, and the other one is $50, you said Facebook?
Facebook,
Right.
UGC creator, similar.
Yeah. The other one right now that they're asking about is Flip. So like 2 weeks ago, I told you guys, and I was like, hey, this other thing's like popping on my radar, I'm starting to see it, but now they're asking people if you have a Flip account.
TikTok, YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, YouTube Shorts, they'll pay you $50 for each additional one that you do, but Flip is one that they're asking about now.
Give me the 101 for the brand side of this. Aside from going to just your first dollar and making a deal with them, how do I, as a brand, reach out to influencers and do
You
all
don't
of this?
need any of these platforms as a brand.
Okay,
to
so
go do it.
how would you approach it now, as a small brand, getting your first 5 influencers to create videos?
Levanta, Join Brands, none of these, okay, remember this is why I started with this. And I want to focus more on the creator, but I told you it was inevitable to talk about the brand side of it. When I say Join Brands, Levanta, and all that there, you're like, yeah, but these people are not. Remember, you're not benefiting, these brands are not even attempting to benefit from your account's history.
Right.
They're asking you to start a new account. So dealing with some nano, micro influencer that you find on Levanta or Join Brands, and then just grabbing the types of scripts, because they're almost identical, that these brands are presenting to you, that we're receiving, getting those and then just handing that to the person. As long as they have a webcam and they're okay being on camera, they're gonna be able to do it.
So using a platform like Levanta or Join Brands to find an influencer, reaching out to them yourself, giving them a full script or just bullet points?
No,
or
just the bullets, just the general outline of what we'd like to do. The other thing is, oh, go ahead, Tom.
The question I have is when you want to become a TikTok influencer, you typically have to have a certain number of followers before you can turn on the TikTok influencer and make commissions from that. So I think what Carlos is talking about is that these brands, when they want you to open up a TikTok account underneath their name, you're giving them just exposure about what you've done on, with their product. So there's two sides of it here, right? So if you were a true TikTok influencer and you have the followers that Carlos was telling you about, you turn on being able to be a creator on TikTok and making commissions from them. But if you go directly to the brand doesn't want to pay you the $500 and pay you a commission as well. They just want to give you the $500 per month to do it. So someone who is just starting out, you don't need all these crazy followers, because you're going to open up underneath the brand. So I think that's why they're doing it, is my guess, is they don't want to have to pay you a set dollar amount and give you a 20 or 30%.
Right, their structure that they'll offer, it'll be 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,500. They even have a 10,000 tier, like almost all of them do. They're all identical. And it'll be like 500 a month plus 10% on TikTok Shop, affiliate.
Are those choppable videos, the one that Eric is doing? Are those?
This was the catch. I was like, why are you offering me something? And this was I had a misunderstanding with in the beginning. Why are you offering me a flat fee plus TikTok Shop commissions? But then you're asking me to start my own TikTok account separate. Like I can't, unless I have 5,000 followers, I can't. And apparently that would kick in if the profile you created reaches that amount, then you can get that. The other incentive. So the other thing you have is bounties. So they have a lot of like competitions and contests that are going on. So the person that hits certain tiers the quickest or over the 30-day period gets the most whatever, they'll pay you $5,000, $10,000.
And you track this by how exactly?
Geneva.
I this time don't see TikTok up my app store.
You don't see TikTok in the App Store?
Not a TikTok.
Yeah, not all regions are allowing you.
Why?
If you don't have the app before, you're not allowed to download it anymore.
Why install TikTok? Why you use TikTok? People don't have TikTok.
We use TikTok.
No, if you install new maybe TikTok strong.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody that's having an issue downloading TikTok.
You can't download it now because of the current suspension.
Maybe if you have a VPN, it might work. If you have
Maybe with a VPN. Yeah. Okay, so I started. I want to say this, and then I want to back up to the beginning. Like I like what Raymond went with. Like, hey, well, let's talk about some basic step that we can do, because we're running away now. Like we're just talking about like a bunch of cool dreams, and we're making $1 million before $1. But I reached out to Erica, or I reached out to start building this thing up that I'm doing a couple weeks before TikTok was going to shut down. And I was paying money to build this out. I'm just saying TikTok. I really don't care if TikTok stays or not. It's irrelevant to what I'm talking about right now. Flip already has it. Meta's rolling it out. Like that whole monetization, it's irrelevant. I'm just saying TikTok right now is just the easiest way to have this conversation. So don't think that investing in this, what I'm talking about as a creator, making money as a creator, or being a brand and using creators is dependent on some political thing that's out of our control, and whether TikTok is a spy or stays or not or whatever. If they're a spy, I hope they get out. Like, I don't care. You know what I mean?
So you're saying these brands will hire people to do YouTube Shorts, to do Facebook?
I'm sure there's gonna be a dominant platform. I don't know which one it is. To be honest, Flip's looking really strong.
If you don't think Facebook is going to come up with a version of TikTok Shop or Google, YouTube is going to come up with that, they're working on it right now, guaranteed.
100%.
Yeah, so like, we're just using TikTok, but what his point that he brings up, he's like, apparently he can't even download TikTok, so what are we talking about? TikTok's just a filler word right now.
So that app you showed us, no matter what, that's just like.
That Discord is around, yeah, that's staying.
Just us being able to kind of communicate with the brands. Is that correct or no?
That Discord, you do not need to communicate with the brands. That Discord I'm sharing right now, because it's just the easiest way I could think of for you to get a hold of a bunch of brands that are going to be speaking the same language and that want to work with a creator. But you could just start calling brands. Like, the other thing I want to say is, think about this. These brands are paying a bunch of creators $500 a month. They're working with a lot of creators. So take a guess at how much money they're spending per month per product. This isn't because you're about to go launch a product and you have 2,000 units and it's selling for $30.99. The people that are doing what I'm talking about, they're launching bigger things or they have bigger budgets. That's why they're usually supplements and beauty and stuff like that, right? To your question, you're like, well, how could I just get 5 to 10 of them? It's another reason why you want to go over. You can use the same model and you just use it at a smaller scale and much cheaper and affordable over there using Join Brands and Levanta. That's why I'm getting at with that. But you also can get those people for like $60 to $100 instead of $500 recurring monthly and a whole bunch of other promos. Okay? So first step for you guys now, this doesn't have to be the first step, but the first step that I would say would be the easiest path for me to just not hold anything back and share everything I have with you guys. I hope you make more in brand deals than me in 2 weeks, is join one of those Discords. If you want to pick the one that I'm getting the most brand deals from right now, that would be your first dollar. But again, that could change next week. So don't, just get the one you like the best. I recommend getting their 50, can somebody look it up? Can somebody look up your first dollar in the actual course? Do you remember?
Discord me?
No. There was it was like 50, it's like 50 to 100 bucks. If you want to do the group of solid and you kind of like put a little bit of faith in what I'm saying and you're like, you want to go ahead and do this, reach out to me so I can send you the link, because I think they have like a generous affiliate thing. Make 20 bucks a month, it's going to the coffee, it helps, okay? If you don't like it, tell me and I'll owe you a beer. I don't know, I'll give you the money back. Do that. By doing that, you're opening yourself up to brands. Don't reach out to the brands yet. Go through their course. It's gonna take like 12 hours. It's some obnoxious punk kids doing it. That's the only thing I'm gonna tell you. You thought the other guy was, remember the other guy, what was his name? You remember the course we took a while back on the TikTok, what was his? Like shirt off, like, no, not partying. No, party was actually a lot more mature than the TikTok guy. Remember the TikTok guy, we took his course?
$7 a month guy.
$7 a month guy. It just obnoxious, like.
Your first hour is $50 a month.
Which one?
Your first hour.
Your first hour, $50 a month.
50?
50, yeah. They're obnoxious. They say stuff, and they're like, I'm looking at them like some of the profanity they'll use sometimes, or some of it's a little vulgar. My wife will be like, did you just say that? So just get past it. Like, just get past it. You'll never have to listen to it again. And then once you've done that, just start looking at those deals and then reach out to me. We should be doing some little pop-up meetups during the week, some Zoom stuff, maybe like some webinar stuff with Erica, myself, Moises, and just start talking about some of this, like some cool stuff we're doing or some stuff that we're finding, a little more active in the Telegram chat regarding that.
Is there a different Telegram chat for this or no?
I'm not sure that I'm going to create a separate one for TikTok Creator. What I'm probably going to do is just put it together and just call it the Amazon Influencer TikTok Creator Telegram chat.
Because you don't have anything influencer in Telegram.
In Telegram, we have an Amazon Influencer Telegram.
When I
Yeah, I'll let you in. Knock. You gonna knock? Reach out to me. Just remind me, and I will.
When are you gonna unleash the hounds and release all the salsa people? Because I could use 3 to 5 influencers.
You can reach out to them now. It's just they don't really know what to do. You'd be better off with Levanta. But I mean, think about it. We just started this when?
Yeah, I know.
Started a month and a half ago, and now it's validated. The person's full time. We're looking for more people. There's going to be someone to create some course-like content, some like trainings and stuff for us. Like, I mean, it's much faster than I anticipated.
Yeah. I would love to, I got this new product launch coming up. I would love to hire already like 3 people right away.
Yeah, we can get it. Remember, what the good thing here is the more of us get into this, the more of us, this isn't like an Amazon thing where it's like, I can't review your product. Like, you could reach out to some other people here. We do have, remember, Senora Playa Balcony. We can get some scuba shots with your product. We can get the Vizcaya backyard over here. No, okay. So let's bring it back to the basics again. So great starting spot is that. That would be my homework for anybody that's interested in doing that. Let me pause that for a second and let's jump over to Amazon Influencer Program. It's still a great spot to make money. Amazon has its insanities. We haven't posted anything, we haven't done anything, and we're doing again like 300 to 400. I think it's like 350 or something right now. That's wild. And when I'm looking back at, like, I had to go back and check the disbursements that it was sending me, and yes, it's been going down each month. We stopped. December was good, but I'm positive if we just start posting more again, that'll boost back up. Don't neglect it. Like, I recommend doing it. I would say this, when I was first talking about the Amazon Influencer Program, and by the way, does anyone not know how that works, in case I need to like walk that back too from the beginning? You don't? Okay. So you've, oh, that stinks. You first have to get approved as an Amazon influencer. It's pretty easy.
Well, they do ask you for a social media that has followers on it.
Yeah. A lot of people I know are getting approved for the Amazon Influencer Program right now. I still think you should have like 5,000 to 10,000, but I know a lot of people that are getting approved for like 1,800, 3,000, but if the account's been around like 5-6 years. What I can say, I still get messages every single day from people on the Amazon Influencer Program stuff. The majority of what it has to do with on you getting unlocked for monetization has to do with how long your social media account's been around.
Yeah, I was gonna say mine was approved. I was curious how, when you said like you could tag, like I started this last week, I was texting Carmen, I made some videos, great, okay? But now they're just like sitting there, and personally, I'm not gonna put it on my Instagram, but I'm like, how do I get on the reel in Amazon?
Okay. So you did get approved as an Amazon influencer already? Okay. So
Amazon influencer or Amazon approved for monetization, because there's 2 steps there.
Amazon influencer.
How do you know?
No, it's influencer because you haven't uploaded your videos and you're looking for where to put the videos that you created.
Right, I
Which
uploaded
means-
them,
But you uploaded them where?
onto the page on Amazon.
Oh,
So
I don't know. We'd have to look at it. I'd have to
Okay.
look at it off. But how many videos did you upload?
6.
So, okay, so let's just walk it back real quick.
Yeah.
So you get approved for the Amazon Influencer Program. If your social media account's been around 4 years, the next step is monetization. And that is, you should upload 3 videos, only 3 videos, a maximum of 3 videos. And then Amazon's gonna evaluate those 3 videos and determine whether you should be approved for monetization. This is where all hell kind of breaks loose. If your social media account, like, because it gets super debatable as like what you need to say in the video and how you need to say it and what the quality of the video should be and the type of product you use. None of it matters if your social media account is seasoned enough. They just need your respond and approve you for monetization. If you have a new social media account that's younger than that, or you heard about this and then you decided to go buy a bunch of followers on your, to trick Amazon's algorithm, you probably tricked it to get approved as an Amazon influencer, and now you're just kind of having a coin toss with the monetization. And
If it says receives commissions, does that mean you were approved for monetization?
no, but you receive commissions as an Amazon associate.
Got it.
And the influencer program is kind of nested under the Amazon Associates program. So they give you a bunch of rules as to what you need to do and not do in your videos. Like, you can't show, if this had a barcode on the back of it, or any serial number or anything scannable, it doesn't matter how quickly I turn this thing, the bot's gonna catch it, it's gonna get flagged. If it shows an address, a license plate, like any identification, if you mention pricing, if it's medical, and medical's a stretch, it can be, I love using this, my wife has this thing she puts on, I think it's a makeup, but it's also a sunscreen, and it's kind of like if she's in the car, and it's something for her skin, but she'll mention how she likes it because it protects against, no. Don't, even if it says it on the packaging, don't read it. Like, nothing remotely close to a medical claim. As long as you don't do any of that, then the next step would be you want to wear a plain shirt, no logos, I guess it could be guys too, but especially ladies, the jewelry, just do away with it right now. I'd even not have earrings. Plain background, like if I was doing it here, you don't want this and this, you want a plain wall. Color doesn't matter. Audio, you don't need a fancy mic, but if you did have one that's semi-decent, now would be the time to do it. Like the audio kind of matters. You don't need to bring in fancy lighting, but you don't want a whole bunch of shadows, so just use the sun. Very simple. But almost everything on the shoppable video side has to do, like the heavy lifting of it to get approved for shoppable videos and monetization has to do with how long your social media account's been around. Yeah.
Social media account, do they count your profile, a page, a group?
Page.
A page?
Page.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, so if you have I opened a page on, Lincoln Logs 15 years ago, it counts. And you're pretty much guaranteed.
I have one that's 12 years old and it's
Yeah.
got 6,000 followers.
It's guaranteed. You get approved instantly
Wow.
for everything.
Even though I've never posted a
It
video.
doesn't matter. What I recommend, and I've seen people ignore this and be fine, but I recommend take a week to post something once or twice a day for like the next week. And
On the page.
yeah, so that's
I've
that.
posted memes, but not videos.
Just try to make sure there's some activity in the last week. I think that matters.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes sense.
Once you've done that, the next thing you're looking at is reviewing products. Like what products do you review? Everything around you is open game as long as the product's on Amazon. Just sit down. We made a list of thousands of things. I think we hit 1,000 before leaving the kitchen area. And just think of,
That's where chat can go.
yeah, but outlet covers, baseboards, bulbs, cables, lights,
You're like,
albums. I mean, it's just everything you can think of. The table, the little cover caps that go on the bottom so it doesn't scratch. Like when you're looking at your blender, don't just think your blender, think the blender, then think just the carafe, I think it's called, then think the blades, then think just explode everything. If it exists as a standalone listing on Amazon, it is able to be reviewed. Yeah.
Yeah, not me, but a friend of mine who does it has a hack. Every time he goes to an Airbnb,
Yeah.
what's the first thing an Airbnb person does? They go on Amazon and they outfit the whole place. It's full of Amazon stuff. You just have to identify what's what. And you got all these products,
Sure.
You can do a couple of dozen in one stay.
Sure, yeah. I think a few people in the group have done that. My wife and I got stuck in an Airbnb one time. We did it. I don't know if it paid for the Airbnb, but I definitely see some stuff. I would say it definitely made $700-800. Yeah, worth it over time. So I mean, why not?
Yeah, because like a hotel's gonna buy all commercial stuff. Airbnbs, these people go right to Amazon and outfit their place.
But there's a cult, there's an Airbnb cult, so depending upon if you and I went and bought a one-bedroom, 1,500 square foot place, it would take me 4 months to decorate that place. But in these groups, they'll tell you this is the best, comforter, pillow, dishes, etc. And so all you do is
There's
you
your
click
list.
it, and it fills your cart, and so boom, then it's a one-bedroom, two-bedroom, whatever, so it tells you what to buy.
Yeah, there's a YouTube channel called Airbnb Automated that will just give you the list. It'll even break it down to like, here are the pillowcases that have the best reviews and are stolen the least. Like, I mean, it's really in depth. Yeah, it's really in depth.
does it matter to you and your wife, is it limited to, you can't link the same person, or can anyone make a video?
It matters for the first 3 videos that it's the same person. Like I've never seen anyone get approved for monetization if it was more than one person in each of the videos or different. Once you're approved, it doesn't matter. Yeah, we've had a total of 4 people now to date do it on our account.
And do they have a rule against AI influencers? After the first 3.
What? Yes. Yeah. Right? Didn't they come up with something about AI, guys? Using AI for Amazon influencer reviews.
It's not allowed?
Yeah, it's not allowed. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I wanted to say no, but I couldn't remember. It was an official rule. Yeah.
TikTok it's allowed, but you have to actually click on the button that says AI was used, so.
Yeah.
Which is the difference.
what's the next step? Do you like separately try to apply for monetization, or does it automatically do it?
No, you upload your first 3 videos,
Right,
and then you wait.
okay,
And it could take, like in Raymond's case, it's probably gonna take under 24 hours.
right, they would say like pending,
Right, but what happens is if you need 3 to get approved.
okay.
You uploaded 6.
Well, no, I did 3 first, and after they got approved, then I just did 3
Oh, maybe
more.
you did get approved then, and
Yeah.
I'd have to look at it. But yeah, after that, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
You'll know because you're looking and there's a lock. And if it's unlocked, if the lock is unlocked, you're approved for monetization.
Where would the lock be?
So if you don't see the lock, then you're in the associate side.
And then how do you say like, oh, I wanna get approved for monetization, what do you do?
Go to amazon.com/creatorhub. Yeah, go to amazon.com. No, do it on your computer. What? Can you do it on your phone?
I don't know, 'cause I don't have my computer with me, but
Try it.
Amazon.com/what?
Creator Hub,
Uh-huh.
and then just log in. But if it allows it on your mobile device, okay. So you're approved for monetization is the next step. Then you make a list of everything you need to review. When the program first started and us in the group were doing it, I used to recommend just review everything, right? And I think that time has passed. I think you should now take a look at your list, and it's gonna be a big list. Well, you know what, let me take that back. I think for your first, like, I just want you to get a win really fast. Here's the thing, you need to put your reps in. You need to just get a habit going of making some videos, and that's probably more important in the beginning than you making a commission. But telling you that is probably discouraging, right? So you can either do that, and I don't think it's bad. If you're like, I don't want to do the next thing that I'm about to share with you, just start reviewing all of it. Short videos, like, what is it, Candace?
Oh, no, nothing, I'm trying to remember, I have so many Amazon accounts.
You can be on the video, or you don't have to be on the video. If you have kids, just make sure an adult shows up at least one time in the video. Try to use some common sense. Don't do stuff in the tub. You know, anytime kids are involved, make sure you be aware, like if somebody's wearing a bathing suit or something like that, Amazon's gonna err on the side of caution. If you're gonna review something skimpy, maybe talk about it, not wear it. Or send it to me for approval and I'll let you know. No. What else? Yeah, so here's how you make money. Yeah.
Might be a stupid question, but, so you generally, like, you go to Airbnb, you generally you're doing open items, there's no, often, branding, like, I'm doing this napkin, so you could, like, take napkin brand A, put it, connect it, make a video to review brand B's, right, there's no way they can tell, right?
Well, that's why I mentioned.
Assuming that there's no way that they can tell, then yes, you could do that. Now, they don't tell you that you can do that. They tell you it and you need to be sure that it's the right one. They're not gonna find out. Now, if you decide, I'm gonna be smart here and I'm just gonna review this product, same set of napkins 40 times and just tag 40 different products.
Yeah.
Those are zombie reviews.
My idea was you find something, the best seller that has the most interest that people will click on and buy. You actually have to have that product. I'm talking about stuff that the branding's only in the package.
Yeah, like there's an Airbnb and it's got a nice little bench sitting by the door. There's no branding on that little bench. So it's wooden, so you just go search for a small wooden bench. I would say most people don't spend longer than a minute and they just tag something. My wife might spend 45 minutes trying to get it right.
When you have 100 people selling the same item from China, you just go find the one that's Amazon's choice.
You probably want to find the one that's selling the most.
Yeah.
Okay, so you now have a list of products that you've made around your house. You're going to review them. A mistake would be just to spend an entire day just doing reviews, in my opinion. I think you should pick a number. I really don't care what the number is. The number we've said a lot, or Tom, I think, amassed the most amount of reviews in the group. I think he was doing 5 to 10 a day between him and his wife. They got up to how many reviews?
We're at 1,900 now.
1,900 reviews. Just consistency is kind of key there. I also think in the group, based on, I don't know anybody that's doing stuff that doesn't share with me, but he sold more. I think his highest month was higher than anybody else in the group for a single month in the influencer program, just at 5 to 10 a day. You had a lot of people that would do 100 in one day and then wouldn't post anything for a long time. And then the lack of consistency didn't work. Everyone that's been consistent about it, still doing really nice on the program.
What if you have an account and it has very little, like, what is it, because you have to have a lot of followers?
Yeah, but that's, how long has the account been around?
It's been around for, I don't know, more than 5 years.
Then what you would do is, what kind of account is it?
It's like an Instagram
Yeah.
or Facebook. I have them all. It's just they have like there's no followers because I'm not very active on it.
Yeah, you can just start doing some posts on it for like the next 7 to 10 days. And there's plenty of services out there that will jack up the followers there for $50 to get you to the 5,000 number, $75, I think, I don't know, and then apply. But the only thing that matters is that it's been around that long is gonna save you. Now, if you don't have any account and you need to open one, there's other hacks you can do if you're starting from zero. But in that case, you're almost guaranteed that you're gonna get approved for the program and monetization. But
Could I send you a message?
Yeah.
And you can give me like a site that I can use?
absolutely, yeah.
As far as body part requirements, say you're doing a pair of shoes,
Yeah.
do you need full torso in the picture, or can you just show a leg and a shoe?
Attached to a body?
If you're showing off a piece of jewelry or something, can you just show the hands in the video? What are the requirements for the body parts included?
Nothing in the body, your body doesn't need to show. You technically could have like a conveyor belt of products just going by and just do those products.
Well, it's important. to
Some,
know.
you could occasionally have a leg. Just come-
Or leg lamp.
Yeah. But yeah, you don't have to show up in them. I've not been able to like test this, or like get the concrete data on it. My suspicion is that being a person showing up in the video converts better than a person not showing up. But the one thing I do have data on is if you don't do any videos, you have 0 chance of getting any commissions. So if you want to do it with no body part showing, then do it, because it's going to be better than not. Yeah. Or if you have hands like mine, it might be better to not show your hands.
Well, the reason I ask is, like I said, it's a pair of shoes. Do you have to show the whole body?
Right, you have to go out and get a pedicure and then, yeah.
Some
it'd
people,
be
like,
wild.
they raggedy on that. I'm like, oh my God, like if you're showing your hands, could they not be like almost bleeding? It's bad.
I'm not gonna take my hands out of my pocket anymore.
No, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah, there's definitely people that don't care. There is actually some, I call these people like actually more influencers, but there is some people on the Amazon influencer program that they just do like wild stuff. Like one of them, somebody brought it up. I think it was Liz from Fluencer Fruit. She came in here and she said something, and then I started like rabbit holing on it. But there'll be like some guys that will do like they'll just review like a female hair care product and they're bald, right? Or the one I found was a guy, and I think he was reviewing like a vaginal probiotic. You know what I mean? And it was just like,
You never know.
yeah, but then you go into the rest of this person's channel and you see it wasn't just a random thing, it was intentional. Like this person just goes out there and picks, and they're comical. And he happens to sit as the top video across all the Amazon influencer videos he does, so I'm saying he's converting. Yeah, that he's converting, so like.
Whatever works.
Yeah, whatever works, man. Okay. So Amazon influencer program, one last piece on it, and then we're gonna jump to TikTok and this other one and kind of start bringing this together. When you create a video review, the way you make money, a listing on Amazon Some of them have a video showing up, you know where the picture thumbnails are at in the top? Some of them have a little video thumbnail. If it doesn't have a video, your influencer videos are not gonna show up in the top, which is like the best spot for them to show up. If it does, it's unlocked for them to show up, and I think you have a much better shot at making a lot more money. You still can show up in the bottom of the listing, but I don't find that to be that exciting.
Why would it not be, why wouldn't it be?
Because the brand that created that listing, or maybe the brand didn't create that listing and they don't know about it, didn't add a video. And adding that video, that brand video, seems to be the unlock, intentional or unintentional on Amazon's side, for your videos to be able to show up in those top placements. Let me see what else.
Thumbnails. Thumbnails matter, so create your thumbnail, and you can do whatever you want. Like, I think it's pretty cool that the bald guy was talking about like shampoo. But thumbnails matter, because if you don't put a thumbnail on there, Amazon will always automatically populate the midway point of your video. So you may be sitting there with your mouth open, your eyes shut, and that will populate the video. So you have the opportunity to create your own thumbnail. If not, Amazon will populate it for you. Although I think the new version is now saying you have to put a thumbnail in there. So,
And are there requirements on the thumbnails?
Smile.
what's that? What'd you say?
Smile. No.
Smile, open face, probably I would then put the product more out in front. I mean, I would do that so you see the product. So how many times have you looked at a video and all of a sudden you're like, man, I'm halfway through this video and I was looking at the shoes and all of a sudden someone close to the video, I'm looking at a can opener. So I like to make sure that the product is in the thumbnail.
Yeah, we never did them, just because we didn't really go heavy on it, I would say. It was more like I wanted to do at least a bare minimum. I was super busy, and as I wanted to do like a bare minimum of it so that I wasn't getting up here recommending something and being hypocritical. So I wanted to do like something. I do think the thumbnails work better. The other one, while Tom's sharing that, I think it was Tom that first mentioned it, definitely does help a lot, and it's emojis. So like when you have an influencer storefront, you can put an emoji in the front and the back of your store name or your influencer profile name. When you have a review that shows up on a listing, that shows up, and most people don't use one. So that's something that helped. But we're getting into the weeds now. There's a lot of little optimizations you could do. You need to get approved for the influencer program. You need to get approved for monetization. You need to start doing about 5 videos a day, and it starts really stacking up on you. Now, a little piece about other ways to make money. We make significantly more money in the Amazon influencer program reselling the products on Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp. And what happens is, once you get into the Amazon influencer program, brands are gonna start reaching out to you all over your social media accounts, saying, hey, can I send you this product and can you review it? We tell them $50. At first we were just like, oh my God, I'm so happy they'll send me something, and we just took it. But it starts becoming work. So then we're just like $50. And if our kids are gonna show up in this thing, I think it's like $75 to $100. And obviously, if our kids show up in it, we don't give them the rights to the video. If I'm in it, I really don't care. But we'll charge $50. It starts really adding up. But you now wind up with a whole bunch of products that, that's just taking up space in your house that you had zero cost on. Actually, can there be negative cost? That would be negative cost because you got paid. And now what we do is, if somebody wants us to review something and we're like, it's a $300 item, they're probably gonna say no to $50, but I'm gonna flip this for $150. Like, I'll send it, I'll review it. And then we started intentionally reaching out to people, and we're like, hey, we notice you have this product, we'd be happy to do a user-generated content video, here's a link to our Amazon influencer store. And we would just look for products that were $300 or something more. You'll notice a bunch of boxes in the front when you walk in. Those are all examples of that. Those are things now that are earmarked. You'll see labels on them. People are coming to get them from OfferUp and Facebook Marketplace. So you wind up making significantly more quickly from the program, not even the main way you were attempting to make money on the program. For some of you, Facebook Marketplace and OfferUp's like a no-go. You don't want anyone going to your house. I get it. I guess it just depends on like where you're at. Maybe consider meeting them at a local Starbucks. You know, my wife refuses to have somebody come by the house for some random offer up stuff. She's convinced they're all serial killers. And so she sends them to me, right? There's a TikTok thing that says, I'm gonna die one day, about a $50
I've seen
widget that my wife sends me to go meet some stranger in a parking lot. So we just send them here. And some of them are weird, I'm not gonna lie. But it's a really quick way to make money. If I knew that if this existed when I was doing arbitrage, I don't believe I would have done arbitrage. And then I would have lost some of the benefits of what I learned and that helped me be a better private label seller, sure. But you literally can do this at home. It is going to give you some skills that you're going to get better at, which is video, which is a great skill to get better at. You can get more complicated with it as you get comfortable and you're making money, like get a teleprompter app. I'm not picking on Tom. Tom's a friend. I don't want you guys to think, I always pick on Ramon and Tom, and for those of you that don't have the backstory, it just looks like I'm being a jerk to them. One of you came up to me a couple weeks ago and asked me why I was being so mean to Ramon, and I was like, oh my God, I guess if you don't know the backstory, that seems, but like, when I met Tom, the idea of him getting on video, like we took a picture of him using a scooter one time. Like it was, like, and now he does influencer stuff and creator stuff, and he's got channels and all kind of stuff. So like, it's gonna unlock a lot of stuff for you. Like there's a lot of stuff in your brand business or your product business or just different areas of your life that you're not doing currently because there's just this block when it comes to video content creation. And this is a really easy way for you to get comfortable with it. So I highly recommend it. You can make a bunch of money on it. Thousands of dollars, no shipping, no logistics, no PPC. It's a very real thing. It ties in both ways with everything that you're doing. Sorry, I'm singling you out, Candace, and looking at you.
No, it's fine. I actually want to say something when you're done.
Yeah, but I can't recommend it enough. I'm going to be talking a lot more about the TikTok side of it. I don't think you should be doing one or the other. I think you should do both. It's going to help you get reps in with the videos you're doing. What else? Yeah. Oh, I'm going to throw one more thing in about TikTok. It's almost like an afterthought, but it is important. I still do think that you should create a TikTok channel and get it to 5,000 followers, okay? So I spent the entire time talking about how you don't need it. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I do think you should do it. I do think it has a place. Remember, you could do videos for this brand that we worked with and gave you a product. You could do another video and you could still post it on your own TikTok. The people that, like a lot of you got really excited and you're like, oh my God, brand's gonna pay me $500 a month and I'm gonna stack like 8 of them, that's $4K a month. Like that would change my life right now. Cool. But those same people that I'm working with and getting to know some of these other people that are doing creator stuff, man, like the average seems to be about 50,000 a month that they're making. 50,000 a month. Yeah.
Doing just all these videos.
Yeah. The that's what they seem to be doing is about 50,000 a month. I wasn't doing 50,000 a month for many years.
Starting out?
No.
It seems to be about 18 months. It seems to be for them, it seems to be about 18 months. You have some, I'm not saying they make nothing and then they make 50, like they're making money.
Yeah.
But the ones that are putting in $50,000 months all seem to be in that 16 to 20 month mark, but they're making money before.
Well, like, and that would be like approximately, I know it's hard to say, but like how many hours a week do you think that 50K would, if you had to ballpark figure?
I would be absolutely shocked if it was more than 4 hours at 50K. I would be shocked if it was, I'd be shocked if it was 4 hours.
What?
Well, the people that I'm talking to, and again, maybe I tell you something different next week. Huh?
I doubt that. It's probably more like full-time.
I would say it's almost
Full-time? Yeah.
No.
You gotta have something dedicated to.
Okay, but hold on a second. I think what you're saying is that 50K a month that they're doing is all off of shoppable videos. I'm sorry, all off of commissions just off TikTok. Remember, by the time they got to 18 months, put it like this, with promised deals that haven't paid yet from our side, we could be at $5,000 to $6,000 a month. Like assuming all of them paid and it all goes through, and we're what, 2-3 months into this? So some of these are just recurring monthlies. The videos, you don't need to script. The editing is minimal. Like, I'd be shocked if it was 4, but who cares if it was 6, 8?
I guess my point is, if you're making $50,000 a month, are you worried about how many hours you gotta work? Like, you know, what?
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just.
I mean, I think that video was the first or second shot. There was no, the one I put up here earlier was the first or second shot. It was no scripting. She had never done anything like that before. And it was like under 5 minutes. The other videos that were done all followed the same pattern. I mean, I would imagine your routine at some point as you're making a few $1,000s a month becomes, hey, on such and such day, I batch record a bunch of stuff. And maybe that day you worked 8, but spread it out across the week and you're still at like an hour a day. You know, like, I don't know. Like to Carmen's point though, like say I'm wildly off and next week I'm like, it's 12.
Right.
It's not a YouTube video. It's not a YouTube channel though. A YouTube channel would take a considerable amount of time. This is just, they're sending you products. You don't need to research them. The editing is almost non-existent. There's no scripting. Like, it's, you just go. And you're sending files. I'd say once you get to a few $1,000s though, maybe even get rid of that minimal editing and off your communication to someone, like a VA.
Yeah,
But,
get an editor for sure.
yeah, I think Carmen's point was better than mine though. It's 50,000, who really cares about the hours? I'd say the vast majority of the time, the vast majority of years of me as a seller, I was not profiting $50,000 a month. I was not profiting $50,000 a month. Yeah, no inventory, no lead time, no cash flow issues. You're not even spending gas. Like,
Candace, some of these people are doing little magnets in their phone. They're doing a TikTok or an influencer video from their car.
Yeah, no.
So I mean, there's some people in the groups that I'm in that have, 1 million followers, and it didn't take them but 10 months to get there. Now, maybe at first you work your tail off, but eventually when they get to that point, every time they post a video, they're just making more money exponentially because those million followers are seeing them. The girl Abby, that's part of Irish, she gets 1 billion views a month. 1 billion views a month. Now she's built out her team, so writers and they have, they're going to be, obviously you're going to build out your team. You're going to have your own editor. So like you're probably going to have to be in that video, but I mean, I guess at that point they're having a lot of fun doing it.
yeah. Last bit, any questions that anybody has on this, I can send you all the notes with all the links, just let me know. Any questions you have about anything, reach out to me. As always, the groups are free, everything's free. I'll answer anything you need to try to help you. If you want more help than that, the first courses we ever put out are these. It's like $200. It's gonna walk you through step by step everything about the Amazon Influencer Program if you want, in English and Spanish. Again, you can just ask me any questions you have though, and you don't have to do that. But in case you want it, it's here. I recommend, this is only Amazon Influence, this is not TikTok. Like, I have not done anything on TikTok yet as far as course-wide for this. But yeah, thank you guys so much. That's all I had. We're gonna stay in network. I hope you enjoyed it.
This is for TikTok. She's got 20,000 TikTok followers. She should be able to just.
Who is it?
My wife.
Yeah.
How can she become the TikTok influencer? I mean, a TikTok creator. How can she? What would be the steps that she would take?
Well, with that many, she would just, I would need to send you a link because it sounds a little complicated, but she needs to join the TikTok creator side.
Okay.
And with that amount, she'll get immediately approved. And that just means all the videos that she creates from now on, like whatever she's reviewing, she'll be able, like say she has this and she wants to review it and make money, she'll go into the creator side, search for this product, find it, see what commission they're offering, and like say it's 10%, it's a $50 product. She could then do a video on it and have a shop. She could have a shoppable link showing up on the video, and if it gets eyeballs, and this has a tendency to get a lot more eyeballs sometimes, anybody that clicks the link there, she'll automatically get paid those commissions.
Okay, I'll tell her.
Yeah. But then, assuming she has a bank of videos on that channel,
Yeah.
she could also go into some of those Discords. She could go in there and say, and respond to some of these brand deals and say, hey, I'm so-and-so, I want to do any of these. They're going to look at her videos and be like, okay, yeah, for sure. We'll pay you $500 to $1,000 a month, and here are the types of videos, and they'll take you through the process of setting them up, but they're going to ask her to create another TikTok account, which is fine, you're allowed.
Already in because of this account, right? Because she'll.
Yeah, she's probably gonna get a higher offer
Okay.
because of that.
All right, I'll tell her, thank you.
Yeah.
Am I monetized? I'm in my account.
No, this is the associates program.
So how do I do it?
You're not gonna be able to do it from the phone.
No,
Let
well,
me see.
okay.
Right here, this will be it.
Oh, no, the store ID, it should be,
Yeah, the other one was yours, so this is it. No, this is not. It's not letting you go in through your phone.
okay, so what do I have to, like, how do I know?
You gotta get your laptop or desktop or something, go to amazon.com/creatorhub, send me a screenshot and I'll be able to tell you immediately.
You know what? I'll talk to you later. Like, I'm really serious about this because I think my videos are good and fast, and like,
I think you crush it. I think you're very charismatic, you look like you have energy.
I'm like miserable. Miserable.
Harold, see you next time. Thank you very much. Have an appointment today. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, you excited?
I'm very excited.
Let's go to the sushi place, because Tom is saying absolutely